From the Swan Draft Railway Stakes, and 2 Roman Arch for Noel Callow at $5.50, 3 Finito 16, 5 Hardrada 11, Corporate Bruce at 14, A Mission at $5, Early Express at 15. You've got 10 Mapaholic 570, 14 Pretty All Clear Geelong the first on 13, 1 and 10. And a further reminder that...
Racing now in the railway, and Tribula was the first away. Modem will cut straight across to the back of the field in company with Track Jester. And Miller's going to snag Old Fashioned out to last. King's Arch commenced well. So did River Mist, and there's Early Express away in a hurry from the outside, burning across. Roman Arch will settle down just behind them. He's fifth, going to about to go to the far bend of the South Australian. King's Arch is the leader, 2 lengths. Early Express settling down second. Then came the little mare Tribula third. River Mist, the 3-year-old, is back on the outside, fourth, a length and a half further back to Roman Arch. Hardrada, No Luck, 3 deep. Superior Stars the inside of that pair, a length and a half away. Then came Finito sneaking up on the outside of Kensal Bay. Mapaholic is held up on the fence. Track Jester had lost a bit of ground, and Emission's gone around him. Modem's on the rail at the 450. Old Fashioned and Corporate Bruce a long way back, and next to last Dexian on the corner in the railway. King's Arch taken on, headed by Early Express. The 3-year-old River Mist joining in, and Hardrada's continuing to run on. About a length and a half. Tribula, Modem threading his way through, and a gap to Roman Arch, who's struggling. Hardrada at the 150. Those storm to the front, got the better of Early Express. They're followed by Modem, and then Mapaholic out, but it'll be too late. Hardrada's pinched a winning break, and Hardrada wins the Railway Stakes. Runner-up last year, the Conqueror in 2003, beat Early Express and Mapaholic. Roman Arch and Modem were behind those, followed home by Tribula. Then King's Arch, Dexian, Superior Star. River Mist and Emission didn't fire. Track Jester, Old Fashioned, Finito dropped out with Kensal Bund. Old Corporate Bruce has trailed the field home.
And Hardrada, a winner of the Winterbottom 2 starts ago. Lou Luciani, the trainer. Jason Whiting aboard the Hardrada. Jason Whiting, 11:30, 3:40. What is Wild Barramundi anyway?
Whereas it was Saturday, but yeah, Mapaholic a little bit held up in behind them at the 500, but got out in enough time to get home. But as Ronnie will just tell us, the winner did sit 3 wide and face the breeze. It was a good effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's always threatened to win another big race, Hardrada, and certainly too good yesterday. Look, this second horse is underrated. He won the Steer Stakes last start at big odds. He's really held that form. He's got a good record and no fluke in that performance yesterday. I like Mapaholic's run. I thought that was the best run for the fruit and veg.
Actually, I agree.
Welcome to Sky Channel's 4th leg of the World Series Racing Championship, featuring Australia's Hope Fields of Omar, the Cox Plate winner, 3rd in the McKinnon Stakes at $14. Tap Dance City, a winner of 8 from 31 with 12 minor placings.
Or the big race.
The track is officially rated heavy. The weather the track has been upgraded now to yielding. We've had no rain for some 5 hours, but the track has been drenched by rain for the past day and a half.
That word on the Australian.
Fields of Omar is the 11th favourite here at odds of in excess of 30 to 1. The hot favourite for 1. The hot favourite is the horse of the year in Japan, Symboli Chris S. He's around the even money mark.
Side racing. Tap Dance City, one of the first to get going in the middle of the track. Moving forward is Active Bio. Also, That's the Plenty going with it. Fields of Omar locked in behind Tap Dance City. That's the Plenty moving up alongside. That's the Plenty with Derby Reckono. Well, it's kicked away at the moment. That's the Plenty. About Me, Tap Dance City out by 8 or 9. Running second. That's the Plenty. Back on the fence. Fields of Omar. On the outside of it is Active Bio. Then Phil Derby Reckono. Well, Tap Dance City at the 600 has a 5-length break, but here they come. That's the Plenty running second. On the outside, moving forward in the green cap at the moment is Active Bio. It's still Tap Dance City at the 400-metre mark. They can't catch it. Out in the middle of the track, that's the Plenty. Running on quickly is Islington out wide. In the centre is Active Bio, and Denon coming home quickly on the inner. Slough Valley behind it. It's still Tap Dance City with That's the Plenty. Tap Dance City at the 200 leads by 2.5. That's the Plenty running on. That's the Plenty. Tap Dance City. Tap Dance City's got it shot to bits. He's bolted away. Tap Dance City wins by about 6 or 7. It's going to be a tight go for second. Tight go. That's the Plenty got second. Simply Chris is probably 4th on the inner. Was Neo Yomus. And then came Pulling up quickly on the outside, pardon me, we just missed them in the run, but came Tiger Tail, following on Ons Gabriel. Fan Johar and Fields of Omar pulling up quickly after the finish. Tap Dance City has led all the way.
So a dashing display by Tap Dance City at
Away from the big one at Doomben today. It's the Northern City Finance Summer Stakes, Leg 1 of their Summer Sprint Triple Crown, and Pick a Blue 380, 610 for Bal Yabber and Lamond at 870. Mate.
Racing now, Deuxième missed it a length on the inside off, bounded to the lead at the start. Levante showing speed with Panzer. Picker Blues driving through to a handy third. Awesome Night and Devil showing speed as well. Then Lamond and Forever Amen. Make Mine Magic is midfield on the inside of ours. Then goes to the front. They're at the 750. Awesome Night a half in front of Wajo, going up 3 deep. Levante, followed by Oomph on the inside of Forever Amen. One to Panzer. One further back to Picker Blue. He's 7th as they approach the home turn. 4 lengths off the lead. Lamond is outside of him. Make Mine Magic inside of him. Followed by Ours and Devil. Then Bal Yabber and Lord Atlas. Straightening up now. Levante's gone to the lead. 350 metres to go. Wajo's tackling on the outside. Oomph is getting a run. Make Mine Magic is right up along the inside. He's tackling them now. They've got 200 metres to go. Make Mine Magic hit the front. Here comes Picker Blue. He's flying on the outside. Make Mine Magic in front. Conchula's flashing home from last. Make Mine Magic in front. He's lasted. Yes. Make Mine Magic beat Conchula. Third, it's a photo between Picker Blue and Forever Amen. Then Oomph, she stopped the last little bit. Deuxième was flying home. Then Wajo, Panzer, Foxmore, Ours, Levant. Make Mine Magic getting a miracle run through on the inside again. But Make Mine Magic is the winner. Make Mine Magic, a 7-year-old by Canadian Silver out of this way up.
A feature race from Belmont today is the Fruit and Veg Stakes, a Group 1 affair over 2,000 metres, and a Mission and Hard Rada are the equal top raters over Free at Last, a Hard Rada at $3.90. Free at Last, terrific sequence of wins. It's at $5.60, worked its way through the grades very well. River Mist is at $9.90 for Peter Nucky. 10s for late.
Victor in the Swan Draft Railway Stakes, Hard Rada. It looks as though he's trained on strength here. The Victor in the Swan Draft Railway Stakes, Hard Rada. It looks as though he's trained on well. The 2000.
Away they go. Great start too. The 3-year-old filly, Spirit Lady, clearly won the break from the inside. And coming over, River Mist and True Steel's going to also push up and look for the lead. Milanover and Later going up in the centre from about 12 lengths, covers the field on the back turn in the Fruit and Veg Stakes, going to the 900. True Steel, the pilot. The lightly weighted filly, Spirit Lady, goes out after him now to sit at his flanks, and they're 2 in front of River Mist and Superior Star. It's been run very genuine. Milanover behind them, but she covered ground early. Free at Last going up on her inside. Then Later, Whiting's having to push along. Hard Rada coming to the 600. He had to switch back inside Later to make ground. Tutus, Crimson Sakura, followed by Corporate Bruce. Then Main Stage, Finito, a Mission second last. And Mogul is at the tail as they turn for home, and True Steel set sail for the judge and kick clear. It's True Steel at the 300. About 3, Spirit Lady. Milanover running on, followed by River Mist and Hard Rada coming with his run now. True Steel at the 150 from Milanover. Hard Rada the outside. It's True Steel still in front of Milanover. Hard Rada, they're closing. True Steel stopping. Will he hang on? Hard Rada dive, didn't make it. True Steel. True Steel home in the Fruit and Veg from Hard Rada and Milanover. Later might have got 4th from Main Stage. Crimson Sakura. Then Free at Last, Superior Star, Spirit Lady, Mogul, Finito.
We can check Belmont divvies. 5, 10, 6 and Waiters right. True Steel takes the Group 1 Fruit and Veg. Kingston
Hong Kong, Lavar
takes the Group 1 Fruit and Veg. Kingston
Hong Kong, Lavar's not far off. One of the big features there today from Honkers, from Sha Tin, and the race, of course, at Group 1, nearly $2.5 million. The first 3 all in the market. Fields of Omar, of course, at $3.50 is probably Calabar and also Valiant Chanty. The Hong Kong Vase is about to come up with a...
Seeing Sabienga began well. Fields of Omar bounced right there, as did River Dancer and Polish Summer. Warsan on the inside holding a prominent spot, but Sabiango's going to take it up early. Industrial Success getting over. River Dancer outside the leader. Warsan takes the sit-in. Fields of Omar gets a great spot from Calabar Polish Summer Fairmix. 1100 to go. Sabiango leads the way by 1. Germany watching nicely. River Dancer second. Warsan third. At the 1,000-metre mark, Industrial Success and the Aussie Fields of Omar right there in the money spot. He's got a great trip as they start to roll along a little bit. Reddick gets past him. Sabiango rolls on the bend. River Dancer niggled in second. Warsan third. Industrial Success in 4. He's off the bridle. Fields of Omar pushed to pick up. Red Pepper the inside. Polish Summer needs the out. Calabar's outside him battling. Maktub can't sprint. Fairmix further back. They pick it up. River Dancer quickly went up to the front. Sabiango one paced. Warsan gets through. Polish Summer comes on. Starts to draw after the leader. Fairmix Roosevelt coming through. Valion Chanty. Indian Creek staying on. Polish Summer in front. Simeon's riding hard. Warsan, Valion Chanty. Roosevelt in the middle. Polish Summer in front. Now Valion Chanty draws up. Valion Chanty, the filly wins it by 3/4. Second a photo. It's either in the middle, Polish Summer or Warsan. Roosevelt right there from Imperial Dancer. Out wide a fair mix. Next in Calabar River Dancer. Wider still Indian Creek. Fields of Omar, Red Pepper. Maktub and Sabiango's dropped out last of all.
And defeated Polish Summer and Warsan. $35.60, $74.
Is short ahead of Into the Night, Bomber Bill, the South African national currency, then Dan Turner.
It's just about upon us now, and it's just amazing to see that this horse Silent Witness has just dominated the betting. I got to the track here some time ago. He was showing $1.04. He was 10 to 1 on the pre-post betting here this morning. National currency ran about the $6 mark, and the rest are 21 and better. I don't know of any race in the world at this level where it's been 20 to 1 bar 2, and the favourite being somewhere ranging between 3 to 1 on and 10 to 1 on. But that's here at Hong Kong for the sprint. Silent Witness expected to make it 8 from 8, and there's a lot of expectation as these horses will be...
And away they go. Silent Witness jumped well. The Tattling got a little bump. Cheerful Fortune parks off the fave. National Currency lands right there. All Thrills 2 with him. Into the Night has landed very close. One off the lead. Grand Delight with it. Dantana near the flat side. Firebolt just off it. But it's Silent Witness in the middle. National Currency just leading him up at this point near the 600-metre mark. Dantana down on the flat side. Firebolt just off it. Grand Delight into the Night. All Thrills 2. They're in a line. Bomber Bill. Cheerful Fortune follows the favourite. Deportivo there but off the bridle. Cape of Good Hope getting close. The Tattling behind it. The Trader is last. They wind up. National Currency in front. Silent Witness has got to find his heart and come after the South African sprinting sensation. It's National Currency in front. Silent Witness digs in. Firebolt comes on. Cape of Good Hope staying hard. South Africa, here they roar, but the best in the world runs to him, goes by him. Silent Witness draws a length in front of National Currency. Silent Witness, what a champion, wins at a length to National Currency. Third, Cape of Good Hope, Firebolt. Next in came Acclamation, who was midfield, stayed on. The Trader next from All Thrills 2, Cheerful Fortune. Into the Night, Dantana, the Tattling, Grand Delight, Bomberbill, Deportivo last of all. Stand up and applaud the best sprinter there is today. Silent Witness came to National Currency. It was billed as a duel. The talk for National Currency has been spot on. They said he was great. He's run an incredible race, but a sprinting star, a champion, has beaten him. Silent Witness, 8 for 8. If you don't think he's the best, bring something to beat him. Nobody has.
For the 2,000 metres, with the last word, our very own Alan Thomas.
Well, the big one's not far away now, the running of the Hong Kong Cup. And the support here on track, they've really rallied for this great horse, Belbrav, trained by Luca Kamani, Frankie Dettori in the saddle. He's drawn well at barrier 5. And I know that David Hayes is confident that Elegant Fashion number 13 will run a very good race. But no matter which way you look at it, Belbrav's the horse. He's got the credentials, he's got everything going for him, and he's expected to win today. The numbers in the Hong Kong Cup, look for numbers 1, 2, a good push for numbers 4 and 13.
In the cup, Asian Preston, Blue Stitch fade back a bit, away well, Weightless, Elegant Fashion lands there, Self-Flit, and Dano Mast wants a forward spot. Denon's dropping back, Felbrav getting in, Dr. Moore behind it, Magna 10 trying to drop. Weightless from Self-Flit, Magna 10, one off the leaders, 3 deep. Danomas behind them from Elegant Fashion. Blue Stitch, Dr. Moore next. Felbrab travels well. We wait and see. Rackney underneath him. Bright Sky follows them. Denon's gone. Asian Preston off it, followed by Precision. Tiger Tail off the bridle last. Still Weightless leads at the 600. It's had a good trip. Selflit moves closer. Elegant Fashion travels well. Magna 10, Danomas, Dr. Moore, Blue Stitch next. Felbrab 4 off the leader, starting to switch through. Rackney's at shadow. Bright Sky keeps it in. Rackney goes to the inside. The runs come. They're 4 off the leaders. Elegant Fashion, the lady goes to Selflit. Now Felbrab, Rackney come through. Dr. Moore, Blue Stitch, Bright Sky behind them. Felbrab and Rackney wind up. This is what it's about. Felbrab sprouts wings at the 150. Away goes a champion. 2 lengths in front. Rackney, Elegant Fashion for the minor. What a swan song. Say goodbye to a star. Felbrab by 2 lengths to Rackney, Elegant Fashion third. Tiger Tail 4. A long break. Dr. Moore, Asian Preston couldn't come on. Next in Selflit, Tiger Tail, followed by Blue Stitch, Precision. Dropping back, Magna 10 also drifting back in the field. Weightless, Danomas, and Denon dropped out, one of the last horses. What a big moment. We know he's a star. He's outstanding at 2,000 metres or 10 furlong. The world watching, hoping he'd do it, and he has. Big margin.
Well, our feature race this afternoon is coming up. It's the San Miguel Villiers at Randwick, and our Sky ratings in the Villiers are with This Man Should number 1. Ahead of Mufti, Stowaway and General
Mufti number 14. A sprinkling of money for Jeremiah is just into under double figures in the ring, so they're the top 3 on track. Very heavily tried. Number 1, This Man Should favourite from 14 Mufti and 11 Jeremiah. To New South Wales is 570 and 240. 14 Mufti, 590 and 2. Now, coming up is General Minolta Riderless. A magnificent start, Vital Agreement, and This Man Should with Corral Boy out well, Spinning Con and Stowaway, and there goes Mufti and Jeremiah on a high and no man's land. Magic Marvo, Zabara, then General Minolta, followed well back by Restless. Second last is Lashton, 2 lengths to Raw Instinct, they're on the side, and Spinning Con leads the way over Corral Boy. Mufti third, Vital Agreement next, then on a high, a length of This Man Should, Stowaway, followed by Jeremiah, 1.5 to Takas, Magic Marvo, Octennial, and then Diamond, Zabara, Palladium Star. Back in Dubai, Restless, followed by Scenic Boom and Lash, General Minolta, and Raw Instinct is last. They're on the turn in the Villiers, and the leader is Spinning Con over Corral Boy. Mufti called upon by Corey Brown, and then This Man Should, Vital Agreement on a high, and Takas getting plenty of room, and then Stowaway and a Jeremiah. They come to the 200. Mufti is the leader now on the outside. Coming at him is on a high, and then Takas. Mufti grabbed by on a high from Mufti on the inside, on a high, hanging on, and on a high wins the Villiers from Mufti. Jeremiah third, Corral Boy fourth, then This Man Should, Vital Agreement. Takas, Restless, Lashed, and then Raw Instinct, General Minolta, followed by Spinning Con, Diamond, Stowaway, and then Octennial, Zabara, followed by Palladium Star. Back in Dubai, Scenic Boom, and last in Magic Marvo. He seemed to have his chance, but the weight anchored him over the concluding stages. A half a neck by 3/4 of a length for the margins, 135.86.
The Doomben Stakes, the big one for the day. Make My Magic and Conchula, the top 2 from Paladama, and Pick a Day, 1 and 2 from 6 and 16. And Make My Magic at 10, Conchula 8.10. Amex 11, 670 Dursey M, 12 for down to Pick a Blue at 9.10 and Pick a Day at 5.80. Been the favourite Pick a Day at 5.20 for Bruce McLaughlin. He's also got Pick a Blue in the race. It's a tough race, the Doomben Stakes, and with the late
racing now.
Racing
now. Dursey M missed it off the inside. He's out the back and Conchula's with him. The first to go was Pick a Blue, and he's the leader from King Lotto going underneath him when they settle down. Lavotte third, Forever Amen fourth going forward. Stormy Joe's going to settle fifth, and then comes Conchula and Amex and Bales as last. 800 metres to go and King Lotto the leader. He's just in front on the fence as they come down the side. Pick a Blue's outside him. 2 away, Forever Amen. The pace is a cracker. A length and a half, Lavotte. Pick a Day's getting it good run on the fence from Stormy Joe, Dersey M, followed by Pearly Kings, and then Make Mine Magic and Ours. Then Startel, Paladama, followed by Bale, Yabba, Conchula, Amex and Bales as last as they thunder the bend. Around the turn, King Lotto, the leader, tackled by Picker Blue, Forever Amen, Levante. Piccaday's behind those as they turn the corner from Stormy Joe, Pearly Kings and Dersey M. Forever Amen in front at the 200. Levante, and now Dersey M is finishing quickly, and Piccaday's getting up on the fence. Piccaday got up on the fence, and Dersey M came down the outside. It's Piccaday and Dersey M. Piccaday beat Dersey M. Photo third, Forever Amen or Conchula. Close up, Levante, Make Mine Magic. Then came behind those Amex, Paladama, Bale, Yabba, Picker Blue, Startel, King Lotto. A long way back on the field of Bales, followed by Ours and Stormy Joe as last of all. 70, and Piccaday is by Piccolo. Out of Our Today is the winner. Our Today is the winner of the TJ Smith as a 2-year-old at the Carnival. He's trained by
184.10, 2,284.10, the 9, 3, 1 and 5 first 4 Randwick. Flemington, that's the ratings. 450 super impressive. Step ahead at 330.
Catch up with you. Good luck. You're on fire at the moment, and you're off to New Zealand there and over there.
And, race the Standish Handicap over the 1200. And always been a good race this.
370 in orange colours. Stills are back in their racing. Step Ahead was away quickly. Gonna Matter away fairly as well. A couple of them looked ahead to the outside, but once again they're coming back towards the inside rail. Little Dozer's right up there. Also Cosmic Strike showing good speed leads them. About a length, it's by a length. Monahan, Tweed and Super Impressive. They were followed by Little Dozer behind them from Confederate Kid and Choreograph. Next in the field now is Step Ahead in the orange colours, about 3 lengths off the leader. And then came Gonna Matter and Youthful on the outside. Cosmic Strike at the 400 leads by a half length. Little Dozer, Super Impressive joining in. Monahan, Tweed, Bless 'em, and now Step Ahead down the outside across the track at the 250. Super Impressive strikes the front of the clock tower from Monahan, Tweed and Bless 'em. Bless 'em, Monahan, Tweed up on the outside of Super Impressive. Bless 'em and Monahan, Tweed together at the 50. Monahan, Tweed, Bless 'em goes home better. Bless 'em has won it from Monahan, Tweed. Super Impressive and Choreograph has finished fourth, I'd say, from Confederate Kid and Little Dozer. And then came Cosmic Strike. Back behind them then towards the rear. Step Ahead didn't come on. Towards the rear, Gonna Matter and Youthful.
It's been like since the Cox Stakes.
No, his work's been nice. You can't fault the horse.
All right, best of WA is not far away this year's Perth Cup. And free at last, and Celtus, the 100 raters, True Steel and... True Steel, given a good chance at 12. 720 free at last. The favourite, Celtus, has been in great form, or Keltus, at 3. Old King 40. They're the main ones for the running of this year's BMW Perth Cup of 2004. The big one from WA, the running of this year's Perth Cup. Let's head to Darren.
Trying to do it all the way. Leads by a length Indigo King, and they've kicked away. They've turned a bit of speed on. They've booted about 4 lengths to Keldis, who's had a charm run. A length and a half Conspirator. He's worked around the outside around him as they bunch up at the 800. Then came Shoeless and Glitzy Show, Alibi Bay in a bunching field. Personal Drum last, no more than about 7 off the leader. True Steel run over by Indigo King, and Keldis is now into the open. The favourite spotting a bit of daylight at the 550, but it's the roughy Indigo King who leads him to the turn at the 450. Keldis second, free at last, goes up now, running third. On the fence, King Canute from Mercedario under the stick, straightening. Higgins Gold behind them, True Steel beaten. They top the turn at the 300. Indigo King leads Keldis, free at last, and King Canute two to Higgins Gold, getting out around their heels at the 200. Indigo King's in front from Keldis. King Canute coming though. It's King Canute out after Indigo King. 100 metres to go. The Kings have it between them. King Canute, Indigo King. King Canute reigns supreme. King Canute beat Indigo King, and Higgins Gold third. Free at last fourth. Keldis fifth. Followed home by Personal Drum, and then Shoeless, Mercedario and Alibi Bay Conspirator. Well back, Glitzy Show.
On the first day of 2004.
But anyway, let's go to New Zealand. Let's go to New Zealand on Friday the 2nd, where the Zabeel Classic was the highlight of the day, the 2,000 metre race. Watch for Lashed in the green colours, about 4th on the fence.
Coming into it, Phillimore, El Duche threading his way through.
at the 250 metre mark, and it's Penny Gem hit the lead now. El Duche after it. Lashed is starting to run on. Ubiquitous on the inside. Lashed coming to Penny Gem and out wider on the track. El Duche. Lashed hit the lead. 100 metres to go. Is going to race away. Lashed has won it for Lady Hogan. Second at the line then was Penny Gem. Third then El Duche. Fourth then was Hale, followed home by Waitaki Dream.
Well, we're all pretty familiar with Lash. She raced here in Australia for a few years here, and Graham Rogerson, he could just train anything to win at the moment.
Yeah, well, look, she run.
To keep the ace for Lacey Morrison. This is one of the features, race 7, the Open Handicap over the 16-15, and 7 Paladama over 1 Make Mine Magic. 3 General Afternoon. This is the Burnborough Handicap, listed event over the journey of 1,615 metres. Make Mine Magic tightening up to $8.80. You've got Doomben and also Eagle Farm has a 50% winning strike rate. The son of Tara Gelding. As they move forward, the grey Make Mine Magic goes in as we head away.
Special Song began nicely. Heroism dropping back. Experience fast away. Awesome Weather going forward. And there goes Make Mine Magic. Collis is giving him a little push in the early stages. He wants to get him across, and he finds the rails by the time they reach the first turn. Ours and General Minolta going forward on the outside. There's a surprise. General Minolta is the leader. Into the back, General Minolta just in front of Forest Jim going to second. Make Mine Magic one away third. Pulling hard against the jockey. It's General Minolta just in front of Making Tracks. Forest Jim third. Make Mine Magic fourth over on the inside. Wonder Special Song. He's 3 back along the rails. Paladama's next, followed by Heroism starting to go forward. Experience and Ours. Then Awesome Weather and Dersey is last as they straighten up. They've got 400 metres left to go. And General Minolta, he goes full bore on him now, and he kicked away, but in doing so, he allows Make Mine Magic to come away from the rails. Here's Special Song joining in quickly on the outside. It's Make Mine Magic the leader. Special Song is coming out to Make Mine Magic. They're going to fight it out. The gallant grey will not surrender. Special Song coming at Make Mine Magic. Make Mine Magic just in front, and he's won. Make Mine Magic has beaten Special Song. Dersey M third. Experience or General Minolta in a photo for fourth. Next over the line is Making Tracks. Further back came Forest Jim, Awesome Weather, Paladama, Heroism, Ours, and Kukerhoff has broken down. Kukerhoff has broken.
Magic. Len Collis taking the 7th event, the Burnborough. Doomben, 770, 290 over Special Song. Dersey M third. Trifecta up. Trifecta up.
61 kilos he had to lump. Make Mine Magic. It was a tremendous effort. He won the same race last year. That meant he won 2 of the 3 Triple Crown legs, which, you know, was a little bit unlucky that he missed the middle leg, Ronnie. But, gee, he's been a fantastic horse, Michael. Make Mine Magic up there.
He certainly has. I think the ride was the win because he bounced it out from the outside alley and he showed aggression, dug it across. And the good thing about Make Mine Magic, he's been around that much that when he dropped his hands on him, the horse came back underneath him. He had a perfect trail. The race was run at a true tempo. He got a great split and went on with a very good win. Dersey M's run was good. He got in a little bit of trouble. He was caught wide, and he did hit the line quite strongly late in the race. And General Minolta.
Concentrate on the winter now.
The first of the Magic Millions races at the Gold Coast this afternoon. The first one is for the 3-year-olds. It's coming up in 15 minutes. And there are 3 equal top raters. Picaday, Express Ball, Belfie Line. 3-year-old Magic Millions is coming up. The favourite is Picaday at $4.50. At Caulfield, the first 4 on the 5th, 1, 6, 4 and 2 paid $300.
Comes up into the gates. Now, Toby Edmonds, who often racing now and empowered from the inside, was the first to come out. Picaday came out and about the middle of the field, and Seamer's going to be quite content to ride him back, and Spur Me On began brilliantly. On 7 lengths away, Picaday, he's a mile back on the field. He's 4th last on the outside of Helter Skelter, and then Line Error and tailed off Monty Warrior. The Pacer Cracker, 700 out. Spur Me On by 4. Empowered 2nd, Red Mile 3rd, Bella Sunday 4th, Jamison Valley on the fence from Sammy Sequalo. Then comes Belfaline, Sir Success, Mr. Sequential. Then comes Express Ball, Snippy next, and Piccaday's a long way from them as they turn. Spur Me On leads at the 350 by 4. Going after it, Jamison Valley, followed by Empowered, Bella Sunday, Sammy Sequalo, and Piccaday's getting to the outside, coming quickly but a long way from them. Spur Me On leads at the 200. Jamison Valley and now Piccaday and Sammy Sequalo. Jamison Valley hits the lead. Piccaday's after Jamison Valley. It's Jamison Valley in front. Piccaday's trying to get him, and I think he missed him. I think Jamison Valley's knows Piccadilly on the line in the big finish. There's a split inch between them. Sammy Sequalo's third. It's a photo fourth. Spur Me On, Express Ball, Belfalina Line Error all across the track together. Tamer's Red Mile. Now, did he get him the outside or not? Oh, inside, I think.
The cheers from Jim and Angela Fleming were deafening as they hit the line. So they're about to return to scale. Plenty nailed by Piccadilly. Scotty Seamer jumped from gate 17, had no luck. What did you make of it, Dom?
I thought Scotty's ride was a brilliant ride. They ran the last 600 in this race 10 lengths slower than any other race on the day. So for Scott to forfeit 10 lengths coming to the 600 was a smart move. He got a good split. The trainers fall over themselves to get interstate jockeys up here for this meeting every year, and the jockeys who know the track win at this track.
Well, that's an interesting thought.
Another Magic Millions race coming up shortly. The next is the Magic Millions Cup over 1,400 metres. It's race 6 at the coast. Chong Tong and Milkshake are equal top raters. The Man and Dersey M. 210 gates. Support for Chong Tong on the TAB. He's into $4.90 now. He is the favourite. Millions Cup. And they're about to move in. Following this race, Rod Fuller will join. Here's Al now for the Magic Millions Cup.
Set, and they're off and racing now. And Royal Opera off the inside was the first to go. Dersey M was slow, and Amex is out the back in the early part. And when they settle fully into stride, Royal Opera the leader, tackled by Picker Blue, and there goes Chong Tong. He's over third on the outside. The Man Low by Uali. Danska's back and wide. Amex third last. Milkshaker's second last, and last Colin Special. 700 metres to go, and Picker Blue is the leader. Chong Tong's outside him. Royal Opera third, the Fence Levante fourth. Warrior Trader fifth on the inside of the Man. A length away, Queen Amidala, then Accelerator, followed by Agitator, then Jones Jester, Dersey M and Danska, then Uali, followed by Amex and Milkshake, and last is Colin Special. Around the bend, 400 out. It's Picker Blue on the inside, joined by Chong Tong. Royal Opera waits for the run on the fence, followed by Levante, Queen Amidala. The Man is next, and Warrior Trader from Amex getting into the clear late and starting to rattle. Chong Tong got the Picker Blue at the 200. Levante, and here's Amex and Milkshake storming down the outside. Chong Tong on the outside, Amex and Milkshake. Amex has grabbed the lead. Amex has beaten Milkshake. Photo third, Chong Tong's in it with Queen Amidala and Picker Blue. Close up, Cosmic Rays, followed by Accelerator. The next time, Levante, Royal Opera, followed. Reverses his unlucky third in the 3-year-old race last year to win the Jaguar Magic Millions Cup. Number 6, Amex, ridden by Chris Whiteley. He was third last.
Amidala at $13. The trifecta around 10,100.
How he hits the line here. And to go back to the Shannon handicap at Rose Hill, Sportsman only beat him a nose. So, you know, he's got a bit of quality about him, Amex. He was beaten a nose and a nose in the Magic Millions 3-year-old race here last year when he missed the start by 4 or 5 lengths. He's a funny sort of a horse. Anything to add quickly, Don, before we move on to the next?
It's a perfect example of local knowledge. Chris Whiteley rides his track brilliantly. He's got a 24% strike rate. You can't get better than that. And he's the king of 16 barrier to get the rail, know the part of the turf to come out on. In the straight, it doesn't matter. But, you know, you can't, as Michael said, you can't be covering ground around the corner.
Absolutely.
Rage is entering the mounting yard for the Jupiter's 2-year-old Magic Millions, a race worth $825,000 in overall prize money. A rating special, the unbeaten Not a Single Doubt, number 1, over 2 Oratorio, 4 Dance Hero, and 3 The General. 1 a special, over 2, 4, and 3. Not a Single Doubt. So the Unitab favourite at $2.60, Oratorio $4.20, The General $8.90, Dance Hero $7, $830,000 in overall prize money. Terrific race. If you missed the 3-year-old, it was taken out by Jamison Valley, Darren Beatman. For the 2-year-old Magic Millions, here's Alan Thomas.
Well, thank you, Rod Fuller. The time is... And they're racing. All bar one from near the inside was one of the first to go. There goes Dance Hero. Dance Hero began brilliantly. Not a single doubt. Back about 4th or 5th last. They're riding him off the pace. Around the first corner, Dance Hero is the leader. Way back, Me Chiamo, and last of all, Fine Silver. 500 to go. Dance Hero a half to more than hugs. All bar 1/3 from the General. Here's Oratorio been called upon. Marie Madeline's on the fed. Oh, Oratorio got a bumper, went bush, and not a single doubt came from underneath him. In the straight, and Dance Hero's clear. Here comes Not a Single Doubt, Marie Madeline and Oratorio. Dance Hero leads at the 200. Not a Single Doubt trying to get out after him than Oratorio, but Dance Hero is still the leader. Not a Single Doubt's running off the track. It's Dance Hero and Not a Single Doubt. Dance Hero's in front, and Dance Hero's won the millions from Not a Single Doubt. He threw it away, the second horse. Marie Madeline's probably third, just in front of Oratorio or Birthday Bash. Then Fine Silver, Cafe Francais, General Patton, followed by the General Sprightly Dancer, and then Me Kiyama, all bar one, followed by More Than Hugs, Syndicate, 10 Do, and last Tomer's Raw Prospect. Dance Hero, the foolproof 2-year-old.
And Marie Madeline taking third, fourth going the way of Oratorio, number 2. Good run from the left Reuben runner.
Yes, he did. He lost his chance in the home corner when he went very wide. The worst part of the track is where the track gets away from you there in a bump.
He was natural, he was fluid, he was athletic, everything about it. That's how accelerating he was.
No hiccup through the week go with the work.
No, and that's what, you don't have to do a lot when they come up here. Look, he was a horse that went in on his second run. How many had the others had? You know, nothing about being fresh, you understand that?
Waterhouse there, she had a great day yesterday because she had been under a bit of pressure, a pretty long slump in Sydney, but bouncing back with a win in the Magic Millions.
To the front and just stayed out of trouble. Both the other two favourites, they were tardy out of the boxes and had to be used a little bit, but, you know, as Alan said, I think all honours have got to rest with the winner here. Was prepared to the minute and held on. It set a very frantic pace up front and kept going. I thought it was good. Of the Beat Brigade, Birthday Bash was a mile back. Got some good splits when they straightened up. Did get to the line quite okay. It's probably looking for a little bit further, but I think Alan covered most of them. Dom, what do you think?
I think Gay's entitled to be cocky. She knows that it's not the preparation at all for a major race to be going into, especially the 2-year-old, to go in second up after only one run. I studied the history of the Magic Millions, and no horse has ever done it before. Only have third start into a race second up, a third run and being second up. No one's ever done it. I went through the last 15 years of the Golden Slipper, and nothing's won second up. So this is a fantastic training performance by Gay, and she's entitled to be cocky. I've rated this the highest Magic Millions in history.
Really? Well, it was a race record. 1:8.75 was the time that Dance Hero ran, and he's made all. So it's an outstanding effort, and he may go on and be a Golden Slipper class horse. Boys in Melbourne saw it. What do you think?
I agree with Dominic. This was the quality Magic Millions so far, and more than 2 seconds off Catnip's record. It was a terrific time by Dance Hero and Elfner
Groove. And the next at Caulfield is the Ruberton Stakes.
That was very good, although it was sort of 6 weeks ago. He's been able to...
Now for the running of the Ruberton Stakes.
Now Step Ahead has gone in. Just the last 1 or 2 to get pinged away brilliantly on the outside. Reuben away quickly with Marwin Gold, and Toast to the Coast pressing on wider out as they settle into stride. And Marwin Gold drives up on the inside and goes to the lead ahead of Super Elegant, and length in front, the favourite Super Elegant second. Toast to the Coast is 3 deep and third inside the 600. Reuben on the fence, and then came Super Groove. About 3/4 step ahead and 2 lengths to suit. Marwin Gold ahead in front, Super Elegant joining him around the home turn, travelling well the fave, and then Toast of the Coast, Reuben step ahead, Super Groove and a gap to suit. But Super Elegant took the lead at the top of the straight, and he kicked away by 2 lengths. Marwin Gold gone. Reuben's running on after this leader, and then Toast of the Coast, Super Groove is a minute back, but Super Elegant's away. He's 3 in front, he's got it shot to pieces. He's 3 in front of Reuben, step ahead running on well, but Super Elegant wins his second Ruberton, hard held by 3 lengths to Reuben, a half-head step ahead, and then Suit, Marwin Gold, Toast of the Coast, and Super Groove. Well, he's had 2 starts here at Caulfield now, and he's flopperooed both times.
Caulfield, the Zeta2 is coming up in 12 minutes. St Elmo's Fire, Abdullah, Youth and Barabba Road, 7, 3, 5 and 8.
Cheeto, the second pick, just a touch easy. Elstrom, the Derby winner after being easy, has Trim back in again, and he's going to run a solid third favourite in the race. There he is into the gates now, and then St Elmo's Fire.
Sing. Abdallah and St Elmo's Fire both away quickly, and Weinstock got out fast. Go Forever away brilliantly in the early stages, and Elvstrom isn't too far away. He's about 5th on the rail. Set at the 600, St Elmo's Fire by a length. Abdallah 2nd, Weinstock the rail 3rd, then Barabba Road, 1 Bushido, followed by Go Forever, and then Elvstrom and Cahuita with a break then of about 3 lengths away to Under the Bridge and Youth. It's St Elmo's Fire first for home, leading by a length and a half to Abdallah. Weinstock needing a run. Then came Barabba Road down the outside, followed by Bushido. St Elmo's Fire in front with 150 to go. Barabba Road's coming after him. Weinstock can't get clear. St Elmo's Fire 100 out by 3/4. Abdallah. Bushido's flashing home down the outside, but St Elmo's Fire still in front, and he's won it. St Elmo's Fire by a length to... in second placing, Abdallah, close for 3rd. Elvstrom's come home well in Bushido, and Weinstock didn't quite get clear. He was unlucky. Back behind those to finish in the race, Under the Bridge, Go Forever, Cahuita, Youth and Barabba Road. St Elmo's Fire straight to the front and has maintained Elmo's Fire straight to the front and has maintained his unbeaten run, 4 straight. Ridden by Danny Nikolic for Brian.
St Elmo's Fire winning at Caulfield.
Second and Yell on the car line, ahead of Raja Lane and Del Zayo, and the favourite Yell at 250 and Super Elegant 410. Vocabulary has some support at 610. Let's welcome in John Hunt now.
Outstanding record here, and Super Elegant, always tough and honest, is set. Racing. Natural Blitz a touch slow. Super Elegant flew out of the gates. Yell and Raja Lane both began quickly. Settling into stride now, and it's Super Elegant trying to work over and lead from Raja Lane. Toast of the Coast getting up on the inside, and Vocabulary settles down 4th. Yell trapped out after Raja Lane. Yell no luck, and the Cerise out wide. Confederate Kid off and running 4 deep. They're trailed in behind them. Vocabulary getting a good run on the outside of Toast of the Coast, and then Rustic Mist. Natural Blitz taken out wide, and Del Zayo's gone back to last now, but only 5 lengths covered them. And Super Elegant being well rated, leading from Yell, going up to join it. Confederate Kid made a line of 3, in fact 4 deep, because Vocabulary's there as well. Just behind them, Raja Lane, Rustic Mist, Del Zayo, and Natural Blitz is going to swing the widest. Coming around the turn, Super Elegant from Yell. Vocabulary's coming home well, and then Confederate Kid. Super Elegant narrowly. Vocabulary's coming after him. Yell in the middle, struggling a bit. Vocabulary getting up to Super Elegant. Super Elegant kicks. Vocabulary drives. They hit the line. Bob and go. Vocabulary a nose to Super Elegant, I think. 3 lengths away, Confederate Kid just. Del Zayo and Yell are close up. Then Raja Lane, followed by Natural Blitz, Rustic Mist, and Toast to the Coast last in.
Vocabulary first up tonight, brilliant performance, edging out Super Elegant and Confederate Kid. The trifecta paid $458, and
she's a good mare, this. She's a very, very good mare. First up in a strong race, and she likes the valley. Perfect ride. Look, I thought Del Zayo's run was very, very good off the back there. It was a funny race. It was a stop-start sort of a contest. Yell, I don't know about Yell. I like to see him in front dominating. He just, it was a funny run. I don't know what to think about him, Keith.
Yeah, Vocabulary deserved that win first up. As was said, she's a very talented mare, and this is one of 3 winners for Danny Nikolic on the straight. And I agree with you, Ronnie. In the green cap there and the green sleeves, the red colours, is Del Zayo. Got back to last before the home turn. Rattles home to run 4th. Del Zayo's going to have his next start in the Autumn Stakes at Caulfield on the 7th of February.
For one of the features there today, the Debonair, it comes up in 16 and ratings 1, 3, 10 and 6. 1, 3, 10 and 6 at Flemington in race 6. And having a look at the market, Elstrom's a
place for Steve Baster, and now Under the Bridge is lining up into the stalls. It's a good quality field this year, the Debonair. Flash there racing. Elvstrom, one of the first to bounce out on the inside. Dane Fever got away quickly in the early stages. Bushido's just easing off the speed in the early part, and Promoted is going quickly, looking for the Youth. And then Starcraft and Cahuita went back to last. At the 800, Weinstock's gone to the lead. A neck clear from Promoted the inside, a length and a half to Abdallah. Then came Elvstrom over on the inside in 4th placing, 2 lengths to Under the Bridge, followed by Dane Fever Escape, and then Bushido. Go Forever well back in the yellow as they swing round the turn. turn, and then Gilded Youth. Kawita's pulled to the outside, and Starcraft is last. Round the turn, it's Weinstock from Promoted. Elfstrom over near the inside, just hanging it would appear, as Abdallah comes with a run down the outside, and then Escape, and Kawita and Starcraft is right down the outside. At the 300, Abdallah raced up and went to the lead. Elfstrom and Under the Bridge are coming through on the inside to tackle him, and Starcraft is coming down the outside. Starcraft wide out on the course, getting up to Under the Bridge and Elfstrom. 100 left to go. Under the Bridge and Starcraft. He's wobbling off the track, Starcraft, but too good. And Starcraft gets up to win by a length to Under the Bridge. Elfstrom third, Kawita fourth. Then Bushido, Escape, Abdallah, followed by Gilded Youth. Promoted, dropped out, and then Dane Fever. Back at the end is Weinstock, second last, and last is Go Forever. Starcraft has won, number 12, ridden by Matt Papa. The Queensland galloper racks up 4 in a row and has stepped out of restricted grade to win in dazzling style. We can say it's an upset, but I think those from Queensland who've been watching this horse closely would say far from an upset. He's been able to reel off some terrific finishing bursts to win. Seemingly in trouble at his most recent start. He was 8 or 10 lengths off the leaders at the 300 and unwound a dazzling finishing run. But I think most people expected he might have found them a little bit nippy at the 1400 today. Big giant horse. He'd had a few little problems. They thought he'd injured himself before the Zetative Stakes, but the X-rays cleared him of that, and he just...
You know, I thought I'd track Bushido into the race, and he got, you know, got pushed back a little bit, but really the task I set him and the way he won, you know, he's pretty serious. I think the further he goes, I think the better he'll go too. The way he hit the line and switched off, and it's perfect.
When I set the horse down 3 weeks ago, he was super fit. He'd just won 3-mile races. I gave him a week's break, put him back into work. He had a fortnight, and then he came down. So I knew he was super fit, so he could afford to lose a couple of days' work. But and
next step, the Guineas?
Definitely the Guineas.
Yes, he's won his last 4, that horse. He's had a bit of an injury scare, and he's done a very good job to come back from a 7-week break to win there. How did you rate him in Melbourne, boys?
Oh, look, he's no doubt a very, very good galloper, and the fact that he's had so much time off in between runs, he finished his race off well. All you could say is that the 1600 of the Guineas is going to, in fact, suit him probably a little bit better. Beautiful scope, lovely-looking individual. I wouldn't be knocking horses like Elvston. I just thought Damien had to just use him a touch.
$70,000 buy at the New Zealand sales, and as Elf said, he's now Guineas bound at a distance that will suit him even better. But I don't know about the merit of that race. There was track bias at Flemington yesterday. All jockeys avoided the rail, which is out 9 metres.
Caulfield's coming up in 15. Zilzi, Alinghi, J Diva and Carlton Ace, 4, 3, 7 and 2. This is the first of the Blue Diamond preludes, this one for the fillies. Now these fillies are in the mounting yard, so let's have a look at them. Our first 4 in New South Wales paid $651.60.
Now, Murray Madeline jumping okay, Alinghi a little bit slow to move, and in the early stages, J Diva's driving up and Zilzi's not far off, but Murray Madeline in 4th. They're followed then by Find the Cash next to Alinghi, and a length and a half Kylie Kwong and Vels de Fleur last of all by the 600. Murray Madeline has the lead, 3/4 to J Diva's second, and now trapped out wide is Zilzi in 3rd placing. Find the Cash 4th on the rail, followed by Alinghi. Carlton Ace has been wide all of the way, and then as they swing for home, Vels de Fleur, who's racing a little erratically over on the outside of Kylie Kwong. Into the straight now, Murray Madeline from J Diva, and then came Find the Cash. Zilzi's battling. Alinghi's coming with a big burst on the outside. Murray Madeline with 100 to go. Out by about a length, but Alinghi's storming home, and Find the Cash comes in the middle. It's Alinghi hitting the lead though, and she's strong to the wire, this filly. Alinghi brilliantly over Find the Cash. 3rd, Murray Madeline, another 3rd placing. And they were trailed by Kylie Kwong, who made nice ground, and then J Diva. Zilzi very disappointing. She's finished in front of only 2, and they were Vels de Fleur, who looked all at sea on the track today, and back last Carlton Ace. That's the hallmark of a Blue Diamond winner, generally speaking.
terrific performance. It's a matter of which way will Lee go, though, because I don't think she's any absolute moral to be lining up in the Blue Diamond. It's hard to go to both of the big 2-year-old races, and perhaps Lee might earmark her for his 5th Golden Slipper winner. Who knows? Mary Madeline, another 3rd placing.
She's a class filly, probably as good a 2-year-old filly as we've had. And, you know, maybe there's some bias today, I don't know, but, you know, first up fresh for 5 months and overweight, did the job, ran great time. She'll only improve on that.
Well, I tell you what, if she improves on that, it'll be very hard to beat in the Blue Diamond. Now, Lee Freedman's got a bit of a dilemma here. Does he take the $650,000 first prize in the Diamond if she's able to win it and then go on to the Golden Slipper, or does he bite the bullet and say this is a Golden Slipper filly and send her to Sydney to get that valuable race experience going the Sydney way and acclimatise into the Sydney climate? Now, it's a big problem. She's capable probably of winning either race, but can she win both races? That's the point. No horse has ever done it. Can she be the one?
Of course she can. She's an absolute star. You can't speak highly enough of this filly. She's a top class. I can't wait to see her at 1,200 metres, and she's a deserved slipper favourite. I don't know whether Lee will want to win both with her.
Did Bint Masquet go through the Blue Diamond to the Golden Slipper?
No, she was always trained in Sydney. We had a stable in Sydney at that time, and she was kept up there. This filly's got a beautiful flat action, the way she strides out. It's a lovely filly.
And was syndicated on 2KY.
That's right, yeah, on 2KY we syndicated.
Oratorio, 1, 3, 4 and 2, and this is the Colts and Geldings division of the Blue Diamond Prelude. San Zero at $2.70 is the favourite ahead of
race. San Zero, a very good winner when he came off a break. San Zero, one of the first out. Way West began fast, and in the early stages, Squatters drifting back past midfield. Croatian Prince shows some pace, but it's Way West going through and taking over the squad out wide, and then Picket Fence on the inside of On the Bot, and 2 lengths away French Ploy, and last of all is Bruno Cavalli. To the turn, Way West led 3/4 San Zero, and Danger going up 3 wide. Croatian Prince niggled at 4th the fence, and then Oratorio, and then Squatters, they swing around the turn. Into the straight, Way West by a half length. San Zero challenging on the outside. And then Danger, Oratorio. Down the outside is Squad with 150 to go. Way West has a big kick and kicked away by 2 lengths to San Zero. Oratorio battling away on the outside. Way West in front. Oratorio gives chase. Holding on though, Way West. Way West, 3/4 Oratorio. San Zero 3rd. And then Croatian Prince and Squad. A break behind them, Picket Fence, French Ploy, Octrivia.
Trained by Tony McAvoy. Oratorio 2nd, San Zero 3rd. The trifecta was $582.
The Colts ran faster time than the fillies, marginally, but the last splits were in favour of the fillies, last 600, last 400, last 200. This horse did a good job. He got a bit of a rest in front, and I'm not sure, Ronnie, is the track bias still there at Caulfield?
Oh, it's still there. It did change later in the day, but only because the tempo increased in the races, jockeys wanting to be up on the speed. Any horse that got a rest in front like this horse was always going to be hard to beat.
I've got to say, Alan Jones has invested a lot of money in horses over the years, and he's got this in partnership with John Massara and others. He could
the Blue Diamond Stakes because of this win from $67 to $13. A couple of the other runners there, San Zero, although 3rd, disappointed Lee Freedman. He didn't like the way San Zero got his head up, and he'll probably or certainly put blinkers on San Zero in the blue.
Feature race today, the Group 1 CF4 Stakes at Caulfield, where Lonhro and St Elmo's Fire are equal top raters, ahead of Super Elegant and Vocabulary 1, 10, 4 and 8. And here's the market. 10 runners in the CF4. Lonhro has come up the favourite at $2 ahead of St Elmo's Fire.
In a little bit of support and overs the tote, number 4 at the moment. Vocabulary's been easy, value the tote, and as I said, St Elmo's Fire, a big drifter on track, very much unders the tote at $6.10. About to move up, Matt, for the Group 1 CF4.
Yes, Lonhro, this is his last campaign, of course, coming up. I wonder if he can go through unbeaten. He almost went through last preparation unbeaten. The race that brought him unstuck was the WS Cox Plate, and that was his last run, last preparation.
And racing in the CF4, and Super Elegant began well in the early stages of the race. Lonhro settling down in 4th. St Elmo's Fire quickly goes into 2nd placing and 2 lengths away Vocabulary. Lonhro handy 3/4 away, and then came Sound Action on the outside, travelling ride, and he went out by about 3 lengths. He's fired up in front, the youngster. In 2nd placing, Super Elegant. Sound Action moved up into 3rd on the outside. 1.5 further back is Mummify. Vocabulary is outside him, and then Lonhro, who's now 3 deep in midfield with Zasmine
on his outside, nearing the 600 metres. 2 lengths away to Tycoon Ruler, Natural Blitz and Pentastic on the rail. St Elmo's Fire, 5.50 left to go. Leads 3/4 Super Elegant and Sound Action. 2 lengths to Lonhro. He's within 3 of the leader, but Beedman's just working on him a little bit coming around the home turn. St Elmo's Fire joined and headed by Super Elegant and then Sound Action. 2 lengths away Lonhro and then Vocabulary. Well on the straight, Sound Action a neck in front of St Elmo's Fire. Sound Action. Lonhro pulled to the outside, having a bump with Vocabulary. It's with 100 metres to go now. It's Sound Action moving up to tackle Super Elegant. Lonhro stretching into his work now. The champion lunges. Vocabulary went with him. I think Lonhro knows Vocabulary. They did bump in the straight. Sound Action might have grabbed the third. Close up on the inside was Super Elegant. What a finish to the race. Next is Pentastic, the weakening St Elmo's Fire, Mummify, Natural Blitz, and then at the end is Zasman and Tycoon Ruler. He'll get it. Lonhro will get it. 1:21.97 they've run. And he's turned what looked a defeat at the 150 metre mark into a most exciting and belligerent win. And the cream rises to the top. And Lonhro, well, he had to dig in. He was in trouble coming around the bend, but he's lifted as great horses do.
Friedman, how are you doing, mate?
I'm very well, thanks, Graham. We saw an absolute champion at work yesterday in Lonhro. Anyone out there who wants to detract from that performance or say that horse isn't a champion, you're out of your mind. You're making a fool of yourself by espousing those theories. He is a champion. I hope you're choking on your humble pie, all those people who knocked him, because only champions do what he did yesterday.
Every now and again, we all have to choke on some humble pie, don't we?
Yeah, well, I've choked on plenty. But I rate him now. Yeah. I rate him now a better horse than Octagonal.
Yeah.
And he's the hero-worshipped Octagonal. Wow. Octagonal. But Lonhro?
No, not really. I was always travelling kind. There was a bit of buffing going up on the 1,000 metre mark, and I didn't want to be getting knocked down and pushed around. I just wanted to have a nice, comfortable run for the first 3/4 of the race and into the race to get home. And the Stone filly put a bit of pressure on the leaders, which was good, and softened them up a bit. And he come on the scene as a fresh horse, and I knew I was in the right spot for the speed of the race. And Vocabulary come out and give him a decent crack. But he just showed, he has got superior quality, and the way that he hit the liner, and two, good effort by Hawksy, first up 1,400 in this class of race, so big effort.
It was a big effort too, because originally I think the plan was to go to the expressway 1,200 metres, so the horse was being prepared for a 1,200 metre outing first up, had to quickly switch to 1,400, which it would have been to the horse's detriment. He had to jump from an unfavourable gate, about 7, and go forward quickly. Champions can do that. He did it and settled. He ended up getting dragged back into the field a little further by horses coming back on top of him. He had to make a quick move. He did it. He got bumped, nearly knocked rotten in the straight by Vocabulary coming out. He recovered from that and went on and won the race. OK, he only won by a head. But the only champions can do what this horse did.
He's a super horse. He's a super horse, and in saying that, I feel the second mare was unlucky. Callow thought he was in one of them maidens at Maui or Mornington where he just shoves them out of the road. He didn't know it was Beedman and Lonhro trying to push out of the road. The big boy she bounced off him and didn't know what hit her. If she would have balanced up...
Here it comes now, Ronnie. Just alert people. See him in the white sleeves, he comes out,
bang,
smashes straight into Lonhro.
She didn't know what hit her there.
He got a severe reprimand for that.
Yeah, look, I thought she ran a terrific race, Vocabulary, and so did the third mare. Both them second and third mares are outstanding, and what a Coolmore Classic we're going to have with some of these great mares we've got around.
Yeah, I think that...
This time that in a row that Lonhro had started favourite in a race, and he now joins Northerly and Bone Crusher as the winner of 9 Group 1 races, only one behind his dad, Octagonal. And after all that scrimmaging off, he still ran within 3/4 of a second of the course record.
That was the pleasing thing about the...
And finally, Lonhro had to overcome a hoodoo too.
He certainly did. This has been a great race for 3-year-olds. The last 6 runnings of the Horse Stakes have been won by 3-year-olds. The last older horse to do it was Saintly, so it takes a champion to win it.
It's at Caulfield in 15. Special Harmony, Delzeo, Winestock and Dane Fever, 4, 2, 1 and 7. It's the Autumn Stakes, and a few handy horses going around too, including the Oaks winner, Special Harmony.
Turf in 98's the only one in recent years that I can recall winning it. But Special Harmony is an outstanding filly. Damien Oliver's been 3 times runner-up in this race. They're off.
Youth jump well, Delzeo a touch slow, and in the early stages Dane Fever breaks the line with Our Court on the outside, and Special Harmony went up deep and went to third. Youth on the rails fourth, One Wine Style length. Second Special Harmony, 2 lengths to Youth, then Dane Fever a half length away fourth with cover. 2 to Wine Stock on the inside, trailed by Al Bahari and Delzeo. 8 lengths cover them at the 600 metres. Our Court by 3/4. Special Harmony travelled well second, 2 lengths to Youth, then Dane Fever. A length and a half to Wine Stock, Al Bahari and Delzeo. They swing for home at the 400 metres now. Our Court leading narrowly. Special Harmony goes up and travels well at the bend, and the favourite takes the lead. Dane Fever gives chase, and then Youth, and further back is Wine Stock, but it's Special Harmony at the 200 metres. She quickly picked up about 2 lengths on Youth, Dane Fever, and then Our Court battling away. Delzeo making some late ground, but Special Harmony's 2 lengths in front, and the filly will be too good. Special Harmony won it easily. Youth 2 lengths away second, Dane Fever third, then Delzeo, who finished level with Our Court, and then Al Bahari and Wine Stock ran last.
3 and 7, the trifecta 72.20 on race 6. So there's the...
Probably not, Alf. No, I've ridden some good fillies with the Zero, Norfolk Plume and Kensington Palace, but, you know, each in their own way, they probably weren't as dominant in what she has, and the way they ran that race today, where they just walked and she's really controlled the race outside the lead, they were going to find it hard to run her down.
It was a great move from Damien Oliver. He went forward from the gates. They pulled up in front, which gave virtually anything that got back in that race no chance whatsoever. This filly just sat outside the leader, and when the time was to put the pedal to the metal, away she went. She's got a beautiful flat action. She's a lovely filly. She'll win some good races. I don't know whether she'll run in the Derby at the AJC Autumn Carnival or the Oaks. I suspect Lee will keep her to her own sex for quite some time yet, and that may be a last hurrah, the Derby, this preparation, if in fact he goes that way.
I knew she was going forward when she firmed from $3 into $2.80. You knew straight away, oh, they're going forward on her today and she'll be getting the money. Delzeo was about... Well, things were fair income, you know, like, go forward.
Things are always fair.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, sometimes you've got to ride a staying filly back first up. And if they get home, they get home.
All right. We understand.
Delzeo's a different situation altogether. He was out the gate in the betting ring, and the way the race was run, he had no hope at all back where he was.
No, he ran on quite well, but as you say, once he got to the rear of the field, he was history.
Race this. Race this with a stack of chances. Victory Vane on the comeback trail. She looked well in the yard. There's been just a bit of support for her, but she's very short the tote, 8.20. She opened up around that and just blew like a gale. Classy Dane's been... Miss Helder Skelter missed it, and she missed it by a length away fast. The Kinthos Star, Dan Esty and Bumptious with the white cap going very quickly, settling down third from Spur Scent. Victory Vane began well. She's in close contact, improving inside of Spur Scent. To Zakynthos Star, the leader by a half length on Dan Esty. Bumptious on the rail. Spur Scent is lurking. She's on the prowl and she's coming out 3 deep with a run. Classy Dane's about to unload. Victory Vane held up, and Rosmarino with a flashing run down the centre. Dan Esty got to Zakynthos Star. Victory Vane running up behind them. Can't get a run. She's about to shoulder out, and Classy Dane comes hard. Classy Dane after Zakynthos Star, Dan Esty and Victory Vane. Victory Vane, oh, welcome back, girl. What a win. Victory Vane's won the Triscay. Seconds of photos, Zakynthos Star, Dan Esty and Classy Dane. Only Glory late on the scene. Miss Helter Skelter next. They were followed back in the field by Bumptious, Spur Scent, Rosmarino. You can't keep a champion filly down, and she's back. Was 80, Quinella 51.50. Trifecta $930.20, first for $3,250.
Vane, and that was one hell of a special moment for him. Took off a lot of pressure.
It certainly did. I have to say, on Friday I was asked, you know, can Victory Vane win? I said, no, it's got no hope. I said, it's a light of other days. They don't come back from those injuries. It wasn't going well when it got injured. I said, it's got no hope, so you can lay it all day. Well, I'll eat humble pie, and I have to dips my lid to Bede Murray. Bede Murray, stand up and take a bow. That is an outstanding training effort. And great to see Danny Beasley back in the saddle and riding well after that was his comeback day yesterday. So to come back with a win on a filly that's really special to him anyway was a great way to come back.
Well, what a return that was. You know, look, I don't think you're on your own there. Not many people would have given her, even her most ardent supporters could have given much hope yesterday. I think most people were hoping to see her run a good race. 59.5, first up, no official trial after such a long spell. Again, some pretty sharp fillies here, and oh look, too good. Great training performance.
The pressure on Bede, that would have been enormous, wouldn't it?
Well, look, I think he was confident in his own mind that she'd race right.
Yeah.
Whether he expected a win, like she got out at nearly $20 on track.
I'm sure Bede would have been happy if she'd have just run on well at the end and finished a nice 4th or 5th, but to win, it's just had to be beyond his wildest dreams, but, beyond his wildest dreams, but,
One coming through in 4 minutes, Lashed, Sir Kinloch, Penny Gem and El Deuce, 10, 5, 11 and 1. And through the market for the Weight for Age International Stakes of 2,000 metres, El Deuce and Hale, best of that first bunch. We've got Lashed at $4.10 and Penny Gem at $5. They're among the main hopes. Result up on screen as soon as it comes through, because they're set in New Zealand.
For a start. First of our Group 1 features, field set, gates crash open. They're off and racing in the Whakanui Stud International Stakes, and Green Street began quickly out wide. Penny Gem's on the journey as well, with Sir Kinloch closer in. Right with the leaders also as they come down past the judge with a lap to go as Dan's a man. Hale's the first to make a move. It could be AP Boston on Lashed. He's looking to go forward. 4 Lovers next from Capstad Way, and last of all, as they head towards the turn, Scarlet Rose. 500 metres out in the Group 1 Whakanui Stud International. And the leader is Green Street. Sir Kinloch's ranged up on the outside as they swing in, and Penny Gem is trotting in 3rd spot. 2 lengths away, Hale, then followed by 4 Love. Out wider, Lashed at the 300 metres mark. Penny Gem, he hasn't asked her to go yet, Coleman. Battling away, Sir Kinloch on the inside. Lashed is starting to put in now. Then Capstad Way arriving late. Penny Gem. Here comes Lashed out after it now. And Lashed going out after Penny Gem. The 2 mares, they hit it. Oh, I think Lashed might have just got it. Looking at the reaction of AP Boston, he's pretty confident he has. Lashed just a nostril from Penny Gem, close for 3rd, Capstad Way. Hale, Singing Star wasn't that far away.
A previous race from New Zealand, Lashed and Penny Gem fighting it out. The 2 good mares, Capstad Way, a horse we've seen in Australia plenty of times, and the...
Yeah, Lashed, pretty good horse over here. Just Group 1 class in Australia, probably only just. But they didn't go all that quickly in that race, and Lashed raced at the rear of the field, came widest runner, and unleashed a really strong and powerful burst. When it looked like Penny Gem had the race sewn up, she'd had the beautiful sit behind the lead, got to the front halfway down under a hold, and looked set to just go on and win. And Lashed nailed her right on the post there. That's a double over there to Lashed in big races. It's been a very good decision to take her back to New Zealand, where she's one of the top horses.
Should have won last start too. The track bias beat her last start.
Yeah.
Keith? She was good as it's up in 4 minutes. Vanaka, King's Chapel, Sedekram and Pay My Bail, 2, 12, 1 and 15. This race is the Waikato Sprint over 1,400 metres, and Sedekram's come up at 3:40 there with the Kiwis, and Vanaka's a chance as well. Vanaka's a last start Group 1 winner. It won the Railway. King's Chapel is a last start Group 1 winner. He won the Telegraph, and Pay My Bail at 7:20.
Waikato Draft Sprint, Group 1 Glory. Gates crash open, they're away and racing, and Vanaka exploded from the stalls. There goes Pay My Bail, as expected, heading to the lead. Tully Dane is nice and handy, so is Penitentiary. Then moving round out wide, Dan Bird settling just behind. 8 off the leaders as they come to the corner from Diamond Lake, Silverard, Mr. Robert, well back, Sedekram. Only 2 behind it, including Rapid K and Sun Law. Into the straight they come, 3:50 to go, and King's Chapel. King's Chapel's made the lead from Pay My Bail, then Dan Bird. Svesta starting to wind up. Look at Vanaka in behind them. Out wide, where's Sedekram starting to come into it late now. 200 metres to go. King's Chapel in front. Here comes Sedekram out wide with Svesta. Sedekram put paid to them with a couple of big bounds, and there's a huge win by Sedekram. He's bolted in the Waikato Draft Sprint. Too good. Came from near last. Second over Svesta, I think, just ahead of Rapid K. He flew home late. Right there, King's Chapel. Then Sun Law, Vanaka, followed by Mr. Robert. Then Dan Bird, Penitentiary, Pay My Bail. Well back, Tully Dane. Alongside of these was Silverard and Pure.
Vedster and Rapid K, the trifecta 1,936.70 on the...
Can it go on with it? Yeah, she's a lovely filly. I think she ran very well today. She's drawn the 1. Shouldn't race too far away, and I think she's got a bit of class on the side.
That's the thing I thought it had in its favour. The gate 1 was going to be a bonus. She should be perhaps 6th spot, 3rd back on the fence at worst, do you think?
Yeah, at worst, I think she'll bounce, and there's not a...
Slowly but surely getting ready. Spinning Hill yet to move into the gates. Previous winner of the race and runner-up last year. Now Our Egyptian Rain goes in. Hayley Berry coming along into her place. We're not too far away from a start now. Here's Spinning Hill coming up. 7 years of age, still competitive at the top level. She set. Regimental Gal, who's been well tried. Stephen King on board to come along. Steve won this door, shifting around in the gates. Racing, Spark of Life brilliantly out of the stalls. Largo Delight a little slow. Mystique got away fast, and Aliana brilliantly away is spearing down towards the inside as well. In fact, there'll only be 3 down that side. And Aliana, Spark of Life, the 2 leaders ahead of Largo Delight. On the grandstand side with the majority coming. Scaredy Cat found the lead, although it's Hailey Berry, sorry. Hailey Berry at the 600 metres, brilliantly away and leading Our Egyptian Rain. Regimental Gal right behind the leader, and they're trailed by Mystique up the middle of the track, being followed then by Massendor. Next in the field as they go past the 400 metre mark, Sir Breakfast, Scaredy Cat against the outside rail, Spinning Hill and Pateza towards the tail end on the other side, and it's now Largo Delight going through along the inside rail and taking the lead from Spark of Life, and Aliana's gone. This side Mystique comes with a run at the clock tower. He and Our Egyptian Rain go to the lead together. Mystique, Our Egyptian Rain and Regimental Gal joining in now. Regimental Gal drives at Our Egyptian Rain and wins. Regimental Gal beats Our Egyptian Rain. Mystique third, and then Scaredy Cat and Sir Breakfast from Pateza and Spinning Hill. Largo Delight clearly the first home on the inside, but wasn't in the finish. Back behind these then was Massendor. Spark of Life towards the end of the field was Hailey Berry, who showed dazzling pace but weakened, and Aliana last in. Regimental Gal has steamed down the outside rail to win the Tiac Lightning Stakes. Number 10, a 10 in the frame. Regimental Gal, a 3-year-old filly by General Nadim from Halea, trained by Sean Dwyer at Toowoomba. And
he's got the experience, and she did the job.
She's pretty special, isn't she? I mean, she won the Magic Millions, but she just keeps coming back for you.
Yeah, I said once before, and she's probably a better racehorse than I'm a trainer, but she's taught me a lot.
She's taught you a lot. I reckon you've done the right thing with her a few times, though.
Yeah, well, no, it was a
bit going into the barrier.
And it's one of the main races of the day, one of the features. The Vanity, race 7, number 10, Shantai and Al Samud.
Elf, can I get a word on Ashanti? Because last start it was pretty disappointing there last week at Caulfield, and they're really supporting it at the moment. Value the Tote at $5.50. Canadian Ashanti ahead of Dane Trist and Country Lodge for the 7th. The Vanity here, Matt.
As well, thanks Nick. Favourite on the Tote is Dane Trist on course. A very, very good move for Ashanti, who's been backed into favouritism. Might even press. Ready, off they go. Cherubim a touch slow over near the outside, and Bella Cinderella went straight back to last, and Point Cloach flew out of the gates and led by 2 lengths. El's the leader. That's Point Cloach, who'd run the first half of the race pretty quickly. Cousine moved up and joined her. Elsa moved 2 lengths away in third. They're trailed by Ashanti in the black and pink colours on the outside of Country Lodge, and Never Said a Word is 3 wide. A length and a half to Dane Trist, being followed by Zaloot, and Gulf Mistress has never been on the course. They're followed by Bella Cinderella, Cherubin, Light Sweeper, and Deep in the Woods as they swing around the turn. And it's Point Cloach balancing up by 2 lengths now to Cousine. Country Lodge the inside, running on as El Samud, and Ashanti is coming with a strong run down the outside, and further back Cherubim weaving through, and then came Dane Trist at the 250. Country Lodge moved up and went to the lead. Ashanti is coming after Country Lodge, who's really powering now. It's Country Lodge by 3 lengths. She's gone away from them. Ashanti can't go on. Dane Trist runs on, but it is all Country Lodge. Look at her go down to the line. Country Lodge bolted in by 4. Dane Trist second. Deep in the Woods got up for third. Then Zaloot, Cherubim, Gulf Mistress. Ashanti couldn't finish her race off. Light Sweeper, Never Said a Word, trailed then by Al Samud. The weakening Point Cloach, Bella Cinderella towards the end, and Cousine is a bad last. Gee, she has won very impressively. Number 4. The race, she was just way too good. She had a lovely turn of foot, didn't she, when she got through that.
Coming up, and then we're on the countdown to the big one from Melbourne, Flemington. Elbstrome Reset Starcraft under the bridge, 1, 8, 5 and 4 for the Cadbury Australian Guineas, where Elbstrome is the favourite at $2.90. Victoria Derby. He takes on the up-and-comer in the 3-year-old ranks, Reset, who's had 3 starts for 3 wins, all at Caulfield in 3-year-old company, but he hasn't been in a listed or black-type race of any nature so far, but he's got a lot of class, Reset, from what we've seen so far. And then Starcraft. He was a impressive winner of the Debonair last time out. He's at 470. They're the three main chances. With his call of the Group 1 Guineas, here's Greg.
And racing. Dane Fever pinged away well. Elstrom, one of the last to bounce out of the stalls, and he went straight back to last of all. As they settle into stride, Dane Fever has it from Promoted going up on the outside. Handy to these then is Bushido, and also Reset. He's going to settle down just off the speed. The running heading to the 1,000 metres. He's out by Length and a half. Promoted as second. Dane Fever is third. Reset's got the run of the race, fourth on the outside. Gilded Youth, fifth to rail, being followed then by Del Zao. Under the bridges next on the inside with Elstrom starting a runner, then Kawita. And the Queenslander Starcraft is last at the 700. Bushido on top today before the bend by a length. Promoted second. Dane Fever is third, and Reset's had the run of the race, swinging around the turn. Elstrom's coming wide around the outside with Del Zao as they swing for home. Starcraft is following them into the race. Bushido first around the turn at the 500 in the Guineas. Leads by 2 lengths now. Reset given his head with Promoted on his inside. Then wide around Del Zao. Starcraft is the deepest runner on the outside of Elstrom. Battling away. They come to the 300. Reset is centre line. This is his moment. He races to the front now. Starcraft the challenger. Reset a neck in front. Starcraft showing at him and they fight it out. Reset the inside on Starcraft. Reset keeps on finding something. It's a great free roll. Reset a neck to Starcraft. 3.5 away under the bridge third. And then came Elstrom. Never quite settled today. Next Del Zao, Dane Fever, Gilded Youth. And behind them the weakening Bushido. And second last is Promoted with Kawita last of all. 1:34.5 is the time. Reset has taken out a brilliant victory in the Cadbury Guineas.
A terrific run by the top 2 3-year-olds here. Starcraft, he gave it everything, Starcraft. He just couldn't quite pick up Reset. I tell you what, the camp was confident too. Lloyd Williams, his owner, certainly was.
The horses could do that, and they were the best they could measure up against us today. And I'm sure next time in, when he's a little bit more seasoned, he's a very sound horse. He eats well. He's got a great constitution. You know, the sky's the limit for him right now.
What's next? It'll be up to Lloyd. Lloyd makes the decisions. It's a private stable, and no doubt he'll give it plenty of thought. But I just hope he enjoys today's win, and then he'll decide during the week, no doubt.
Graham Rogerson trains exclusively for Lloyd Williams in Melbourne, so that's why Lloyd Williams has the say in the private stable. But the result there, Reset, what an outstanding horse he is. His 4th run in a race in his first racing prep, and he wins the Group 1. Now, I don't know too many horses who've done that. I think that Scalacci did it in a Lightning Stakes, and that's how good you've got to be. And this horse, he's got all the guts, he's got the courage. When Starcraft came at him, he was going to go straight past him, and this horse just flattened his ears out and went to the line like a very, very good horse. And I tell you what, huge future ahead of him. I said when I saw him at his 2nd race win, I wanted to be on him in the Guineas, and I'm glad he's lived up to that rap, because I think by Zabeel he could beat anything, Keith.
Yeah, look, he's going to be a superstar, I'm sure of that. And there's Reset going to the line, shaking off the challenge by the big horse, Starcraft. He did it with a couple of teeth better put mine back in. A couple of teeth missing. He knocked those out at the barriers before the race. Incidentally, Lloyd Williams saying...
Runs, I was back probably a little bit further than I wanted to be, but Elstrom took me into the race, and, you know, he had a good run probably from 1,000 metres, so I was very happy with it.
Rattled home for 3rd. And I could feel that there's a lot of improvement in him once he steps up to a longer journey.
A lot of teeth out there at the barriers. What was the situation up here in New South Wales?
Well, I'd suggest if that race was in Sydney and a horse hit his head hard enough in the barrier to knock 3 teeth out, he's an automatic scratching, so it might have been a lucky win there. Look,
well, thank God he wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just outstanding, I've got to say.
He
I'm very impressed. And you're right about Elstrom. That is a bit of a forget run.
Yeah.
Damien, never mind, that's a day.
Give credit to the 2nd horse. He's got so much raw potential, that Starcraft. They gap the rest of the field. Them 2 horses have got sensational futures.
Okay.
In race 8, Gold Wells, our top rated from Monaghan Tweed, Mr Murphy and Maccabee Diva, 4, 8, 2 and 1. Gold Wells dominates that market at $1.70 for the next at Flemington. And we are about to head to Flemington now, and David Hall is joining Alf Matthews.
Well, David, I suppose the question on everyone's lips, how's Mackay come back?
Yeah, look, Alf obviously creates a lot of attention being the Melbourne Cup winner, but today's contract's a little bit different to the 2-mile race. Yes, I'd say, with this.
Looks like it, but see how they go early, and he should have a nice run, and he should be finding the line real well.
Well,
They're off. Monaghan Tweed jumping fast on the inside. Maccabi Diva jump well, and Hall immediately grabs hold and she drifts back towards the end. And Mr. Murphy pinged away well to sit outside Monaghan Tweed, giving Goldwells a nice trail third. Turmeric and last is Maccabi Diva as they spring for home in the Chester Manifold. And it's Monaghan Tweed first around the turn. In second placing Mr. Murphy, and Goldwells is out a little bit wider and he's there to challenge with his run. He's under pressure now to reel in these leaders. And then Cumbria followed by Thorns and Maccabi Diva. It's Monaghan Tweed tackled at the 200 metres by Mr. Murphy. Goldwells can't go on. Monaghan Tweed and Mr. Murphy settle down to fight it out. Mr. Murphy's answering the call. He put his nose in front. Monaghan Tweed tries to go with him, but Mr. Murphy too good and wins at a half length. Mr. Murphy over Monaghan Tweed, 4 or 5 to Goldwells third, and then Thorns. And behind these to finish was Cumbria with Maccabi Diva, Thong Classic and Turmeric. He's run 5th. 2, 8, 4, 12 and 1. Mr. Murphy, 2, 8, 4, 12 and 1. Mr. Murphy, who won the Guineas on this day in his 3-year-old year in 2001. He's been a little bit hard to train on occasions.
Race coming up, the Royal Sovereign Stakes. Impaler's a rating special. Ambulance, Spermion, Exceed and Excel, 8, 5, 9 and 2. Here's the market. Exceed and Excel at 270, down to Impaler at 270. So Exceed and Excel 10 cents shorter. Really, they're equal favourites there. Ambulance at $6.50. Top race this, and then Ambulance at $6.30. Yet another Group 1 winner returning today. Let's take you to Randwick for the Royal Sovereign with Terry.
Gates fly back and they've jumped in a terrific line. Exceed and Excel and Hipwell wide out, fast away. Going quickly is Spermion up to be third and is about to tackle the leaders. Tasumi on the rail began very quickly and not far away as Excel did it on his ear. Leads the way by 3/4, sitting up second Spermion. Hipwell wide, Impaler fourth to centre. Tasumi on the rail scraping paint. Now he's just come off it because All Gonna Do It slipped up inside of him. They were followed by Handsome Ransom wide in top swing, 2 away Kuzi. Ambulance last and been given a dig in the ribs to make ground. In top swing trying to get a run. He's come to the outside, straightening up, and the front runner Exceed and Excel. Brown put his foot on the pedal and he raced away. Exceed and Excel 3 in front. Ambulance is coming with a big red light on down the centre. He's running on with Impaler, but Exceed and Excel's in full cry at the 100. 2.5 in front. 2 in front. Ambulance tries to pick him up. Exceed and Excel on tied legs, but he's going to hang on. Ambulance flying. Exceed and Excel. Exceed and Excel has beaten Ambulance, who flew the last little 50 metres. They were followed by Impaler third, a photo between Handsome Ransom, All Gonna Do It for fourth. Kuzi next from in top swing. Hipwell, Spermion and Tasumi last in the Royal Sovereign. Well, that's been a great effort. He's done it all from the front.
6 out of 10, and he's off to Melbourne now for the Newmarket Handicap, and then possibly overseas to Dubai for one of their feature sprints. And then possibly Royal Ascot.
Well, controversy continues to rage over the Kensington track, particularly after the meeting yesterday. We'll talk more on that in just a few moments' time. But Chris Kearns yesterday at Randwick caught up with the chairman of stewards, Ray Murray.
Larry Cassidy gave it a tick after the first winner, but that was the end of the good news for the Kensington. I'd have to say most disappointing the way it's raced and not really satisfactory for a big day.
Yeah, Ron, I hear the trainers were furious, or many of them.
Oh, look, well, you don't blame them. You know, it's hard to read the form. It's you don't know if your horse is going to handle that track. And that second race there, I think they come home in about 39 seconds. It took them forever to get down the straight. And I just think it was knocking the horses around on the inside. I don't know why, but some of the horses' recovery rates, they tell me, were terrible.
It's a second-rate track, should be held for midweek races, trials and training only. That's all it's good for. Never race a decent race meeting on that track again. They could have moved it to Warwick Farm. A lot of people wanted them to move it to Warwick Farm. They had economic reasons why they didn't do it. But, you know, that's unfair on the connections of horses who were disadvantaged by that track and by the changes in distance, and there were plenty of them. But some good horses did win with some great performances.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
Okay. Right, let's... Tim Martin. Yeah, had it been 1200, it might have been a different story there too. But anyhow, we'll never know. We were saying before the show, Ambulance very reminiscent of perhaps a really strong miler like Superimpose.
Yes, I was getting to the verge of sacking Ambulance as well, but he's... No, I didn't. I said I nearly did, and he's been resurrected. Don't take anything away from this winner. This horse has blistering speed, Exceed and Excel. He got tired towards the end there, but he was entitled to first up. Ambulance, a brilliant effort to come from the back. He did get into the better part of the track, but his sectionals would be phenomenal, and I never know whether he's a stayer in the making or whether he's a sprinter who just likes to race from the back. Now, I think he's the latter.
This is where Corey Brown won the race. The horse was going to wander back in, and he straightens him back out, outside that
kept him out in the good ground.
Yeah.
I just think this. I think you're right, Graham. I think Ambulance is like. I don't want to compare him to Superimpose because he's got a long way to go to get into that class, but that's the way he races. But I'll be surprised if he can do that beyond a mile. But I'm there to be knocked over on this one.
Isn't it wonderful to see a horse show nice speed like that and zip away from them? Like, to me, that's what racing's all about. Like, it really is exciting. You know, you think about the horses in the past, like the Vo Rogues, the Might and Powers. This horse can run 1400. You know he's going to improve on that performance, take nothing away from the second horse, Ambulance. He showed that he was a very good horse down here as well. But I tell you what...
Let's move on now to the Breeders' Classic for the mares listed class. And first up from a spell, this was a terrific win in the conditions. This is a race, Ryan, where the cutaway rail on the outside might have come in handy.
Needed it.
But it's Private Steer, Storms down the outside. This is a very good first up win.
Indeed I do, and right down the centre, Private Steer, and she's unloading a big run. Then Nightingale behind those. Private Steer after Fair Embrace, Ergonet and Star of Gibraltar, and Forum Floozy's right in the thick of the action. Forum Floozy and Private Steer. Private Steer just in front of Forum Floozy, Ergonet. Private Steer in front. Oh, grand performance. Private Steer wins it and wins it brilliantly. Forum Floozy second, third I think Ergonet from Fair Embrace.
Yeah, Private Steer, nice performance, really was by Danehill Dancer. First up at $3.30. I think John would be happy with that, John.
Oh, I'd be over the moon. Yeah. She's an outstanding mare. You'll never hear me knock her again. I thought she'd trialled ordinary coming into the race.
Trials?
Yeah, you can't believe them trials. They can be very, very misleading. They are a good guide, but look...
It's not the way you read the trial, it's the trial's fault.
Maybe. Oh, look, she's an outstanding mare. There's no doubt about it.
It's an enormous run, and I'll tell you, John O'Shea, he had a Quinella earlier in the day. He had a great day yesterday. He was one of the most vocal opponents of going to the Kensington track.
Don't worry, he still is.
And he still is. And I think that says a lot, because even though he had a double on the day, he's still critical of the track, Keith.
Yeah, and that was Glenn Boss saluting and acknowledging the terrific performance there by Private Steer. But an interesting situation will arise when this mare has her next start, which will be in the Apollo Stakes, because Glenn Moss will be down here in Melbourne riding Thorn Park in the Futurity. So that ride's on offer. The favourites, I believe.
This way Stakes, Thorn Park, Niello, Accelerator and Sportsman, 111, 5 and 3. Geez, come up at $1.30, Thorn Park. They've been betting $2.10 with the fixed odds all week, and he's come up at $1.30.
Is out the gate, has eased about $6, $12.80. Gordo 17.10, Sportsman 19.40. Omar Win. Racing, Thorn Park jumped with them. He's going to settle about second last with Niello, and before too long came out like a scalded cat wide out. It's burning across looking for the front and will clear Sportsman. Going 650 by 3 lengths on Sportsman, 2 Gordo, 1 Omar Wind. Then came Shag, Zana, Thorn Park starting to close on the outside. Running into traffic, Accelerator, then Bedouin, Niello. Beedman trying to track up behind Boss on Thorn Park, and Corral Boy last. Before too long, a long leader at the 350 straightening. Led by 3 lengths Sportsman, 3 Thorn Park, he's 6 or 7 before the mare. They were followed by Gordo, and then came Niello. Before too long, inside the 200, 2 in front of Sportsman. Thorn Park's hitting his straps, he's still 3 behind them. Sportsman's got to before too long. Thorn Park still coming with Accelerator, but it's Sportsman's day. Sportsman in front and he wins it. Sportsman has beaten a photo between Accelerator, no luck in the run, and Thorn Park. Then before too long, Niello and Gordo. Corral Boy next from Bedouin, Zana, Shags and Omar Wind in the Expressway Stakes last home. In 350, number 3. Thorn Park $1.20, Accelerator $2.90, Exacta $37.90, Quinella.
Yep, well, there was a lot of discussion after Thorn Park's barrier trial win. Went out a short-priced favourite, as you can see. And in that same race, Sportsman finished about 4th or 5th. So how do you read barrier trials?
You can't read barrier trials. It's just I give up after yesterday. Sportsman seemed to trial average on the track, but he's a racehorse. He looks a stronger horse this prep. And I'm glad to hear Greg Hickman say that he's going to restrict his distances, that he can't run a mile. He's being a realist. I don't think the horse can run a mile, and train like a sprinter. He'll be a big money spinner for him.
I think he said he'll have it in the Apollo Stakes, and I think he's going to take him up to Brisbane.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
Like the Doomben 10,000.
He's placed this horse perfection.
Geez, he's tough, this horse. He's so versatile. He just gets
Stronger
himself
now.
into good positions, and he's going to win a lot of races. I don't think he's a superstar horse, but I tell you what, he's going to win a lot of races simply because he just will not lie down. He never says die, this horse.
Look at your old mate. Look at your old mate here at the back here, Niello.
Yeah, he's still sacked, but I'm nervous.
You should be very, very nervous.
He went a lot better than I thought he'd go, and I have to say, he looks a stronger horse over the summer. Thorne Park,
yes.
If it's 20 metres further, he might win. If it's 20 metres further, Accelerator might win. They did shorten the race by 20 metres to put it on the Kensington track. And I think he's a very, very good horse, Thorne Park, but I think he needs races run absolutely to suit him. And that's a weakness.
You can't judge him on that track yesterday.
Okay. Well, for that, you might...
And there are the ratings for the light fingers, with Sharp on top ahead of Polar Success, Hinting and Focusing, 7 from 1, 2 and 14. Sharp, the favourite, at 280, Polar Success at 5, the horse that Ronnie's keen on, and 1 Polar Success. I'll have my dollar each way on number 3, Timberina, at around $76. Let's join Terry Bailey now for the light fingers.
And a very open race. Dean on track. The favourite is Sharp. She is eased out 80 cents, $3.50, reasonably comparable. She eased out a little bit better than that, then $20 at one stage. Focusing is just eased $5 late. Generosa's huge overs at $66. There's about half that elsewhere. Ultimate Fever got right out in the betting, but there's been a little nibble for it late. Racing. Hinting and Polar Success focusing away well with Crown Princess and Lil Elsa. Twin City going fast, showing speed. Ultimate Fever, Sharp one from the rail, and on the fence Niagara Falls. Twins leads at the 600 metres mark by 2 lengths on Sharp. 3/4 Twin City, 1 away Focusing. Crown Princess very deep out. Lil Elsa making ground, the grey inside of it. Ultimate Fever, Santissima stays to the inner with Dorky behind those. Polar Success in traffic from Hinting into the straight. 400 metres to go. Niagara Falls in front. Sharp quickly collared it. Down the outside, Focusing running on. They were followed by Hinting, getting into the clear, finishing it off from Ultimate Fever, and Dorky's back near the inside. Sharp in front. Brown is nursing. Leads at the 100 metres mark from Hinting, coming out after it. Niagara Falls boxes on well back near the inside, but it's Sharp in front. She's in grand form. Generosa late, but Sharp's going to get the cash. Sharp has beaten Generosa and third Hinting. Niagara Falls fourth from Focusing. Lil Elsa, Dorky, Ultimate Fever, Crown Princess, Timberina, Polar Success. Well back is Santissima with Twin City and Wendy Kate. She was last all of the way. $170.80, Quinella $126.80, Trifecta $2,615.80.
Have those sort of horses in the stable.
Yeah, Pete's spot on there. She does everything right.
She certainly does. She's done a great job this prep, 3 for 3. Beautiful ride by Corey Brown. Found the right section of the track. And she was too good. I think you're right there with Generosa Graham. It was a terrific first up run. She's only lightly raced. She had a spring in Melbourne where she was shaping up for the Oaks. It was all too soon for her. And she'll have a better autumn, there's no doubt about that. I thought Niagara Falls' run was okay from the front, held on well. And Polar Success just struggled in that going. She's done that before when she's been on shifty going. The jury's out. We'll keep an eye on her.
Even Lobster with you that Hinting beats at home the next time they meet.
Oh, look, one's a staying filly and one's a sprinting filly. Leave me alone.
Lobster.
Yeah. 20. The lobby.
20. That's a big bet for you.
That's massive.
You're very confident.
Out at Rosehill shortly for the Silver Slipper. They're in the mounting yard at the moment.
You know, you always got to put him in the top 3 because he's an honest type of horse, but he does need luck because he gets back in his races and you just got to hold him up for one go at him. So often those horses need a lot of luck, but you know, he's so honest. He'll race very well.
Well, it's either a feast or a famine. You've got some terrific rides. Good luck, Glenn.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, of course, Glenn won the previous on the promising Waterhouse train Moon Mambo. He had
Silver Slipper, they came away in a good line. Dane Shadow out well, but Esther's going to lead. And settling it's Esther about a length or so on Dane Shadow, followed by Burning Sands. And moving forward is Broker's Decree, but not that far away from Battle on the inside of Broker's Decree. Burning Sands out on a limb, 2 lengths to Bally Blur inside succeeding. Another couple away is E-Consul Fastnet. Rock is absolute second last, and last of all as they come around the corner, Commandment straightening up. And the leader is Esther, a half length on Uber. Dane Shadow called upon by Corey Brown, and he's coming home well, and Ballyblur's getting a beautiful run along the rails. They come to the 200 and the Silver Slipper. It's Esther the leader, Dane Shadow the debutant bridging the gap, and Ballyblur coming right through along the rails. Ballyblur and Esther with Dane Shadow and Fastnet Rock, but it's Ballyblur Silver Slipper. Ballyblur from a very close finish between Esther and Dane Shadow, and Fastnet Rock on the outside not far away. Followed home by E-Consul and then Burning Sands Uber, and the last trio Commandment succeeding in Broker's Decree.
10, 7 and 12. Ballyblur 590 and 210.
Worked well for us that routine, so we'll go back and do it again, and then have it back for the Riesling Slipper, the race, the Two Rock Fillies race 2 weeks before the Golden Slipper.
Good on you, Anthony. Yes, Ballyblur by Ponce Celeb. Dane Shadow, what did you make of its run?
For a first start, it was a fantastic effort. I thought it was up there, had every chance, but you know, got into a dogfight from about the 200-metre mark and dug really deeply. And just got nutted on the line. I thought probably the fun of the run of the race, I should say, was Fastnet Rock. It was back 2, 3 wide all the way, gave them a fairly lengthy start, and picked up 3 or 4 lengths and went under by half a length. But I thought it was a terrific performance.
Michael, and a very interesting race at a very open market, I can tell you, at the Hill for the running of what was, well, still is called the Frederick Clissold. Now, Premier Warehousing and Distribution sponsoring the run. Home watching.
Yes, I'm sure he will. So hopefully I'll be able to fill his shoes. Well, I filled him all right on Race of Success, so hopefully we can do the same with Hayden.
All right, Dan, you've ridden very well today. Keep it up. You're going great guns.
Thank you very much.
They're racing, and one of the best to break the line presently, Lucky Night and Moa Man, got out well, and the same could be said for Brits Best. Not far away is Fuwadi as they settle into stride. A couple, Moa Man presently third, 2.5 to Brits Best around Fuwadi. Then comes Bradshaw, Fiery Venture, Pateza. A length and a half when Wyangan Pines parked over on the inside of Victory Vane, and Chiraga being second last, and Shags is last as they come to the corner. And the speedy Musselbrook Galloper is the leader, Lucky Night, 2 Moa Man. Presently third, Brits Best is running fourth, and then comes on the inside, waiting for the run, Wyangan Pines, and now Pateza on the outside. He's still got about 3 lengths to get to these leaders. Lucky Night narrowly over Brits Best, Moa Man, Pateza joining in, and then Wyangan Pines trying to get through. Bradshaw finishing on with Victory Vane. Brits Best hit the front, Fiery Venture getting clear. They're all over the place coming after Brits Best, but he'll hang on and win it. Brits Best, Fiery Venture second. Oh, anything for third. Shags wide out for Wadi. Bradshaw, Victory Vane not far away, and Pateza likewise. Then presently Lucky Night weakened. Then Chiraga, Moa Man and Wyangan Pines was absolute. 6, 3, 11, 1, 4, 2. 6, 3, 11, 1, 4, 2. That's coming up
to go, but this is about his level. He's probably a Group 3 horse, and in the right races he can pick up a bit of prize money.
Yeah, well said there, Chris Lees. He is tough, Brits Best.
Oh, I love him. I think he's a super little horse. I'd love to have a stable full of Brits Best because he just gives his best every single time he goes out. Hey, Chris is absolutely...
Think of Victory Vane's run.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was
I think she's come back much better than I thought she would, and I think it's a feather in Bede Murray's cap.
I think she could have, you know, like she won first up and she hadn't raced for nearly 12 months. She could have been a little bit sort of jaded there yesterday from that first up run. I thought her performance was good. There was a number of good runs there. Shags was a good run. Bradshaw was wide. Fuwadi never had much room in the straight. Plenty of horses.
Tezza?
Tezza seemed to have every chance, I thought. I thought it was a tad disappointing. But,
Michael, it's indicative of barriers, though. Where it won first up from barrier 1, yesterday it had to sort of just suffer a little bit from an awkward sort of gait, given the fact that she probably lost a little bit of speed after that first up performance. I still thought the effort was good.
Let's look towards the next race at Caulfield, the 3rd in 13. There are the ratings. A rating special. Special Harmony number 1 ahead of 2, 3 and 4. Here come the latest tote figures for the Angus Armanasco, a race that Lee Friedman has enjoyed great deals.
Round for a bit of exercise here. Special Harmony gives you your money back if she wins. It's wrong, isn't it? Shouldn't be able to lose if you can't win. But that's the situation here. Here's Special Harmony coming up into the stalls now. Zalute jumped all right, so did Special Harmony, 3 away from the rail, and Oliver's pushing her forward. Deep in the Woods jumped well too, and as they settle down, Princess Diamond went back to last. There is a bit of pace here, and Ollie said, well, you can go if you want to, I'll sit back on the favourite, and she settles, says Diamond. Deep in the Woods is slowing up the tempo now, heading towards the 800 metre mark. She's out by about a length to Country Lodge, a length to Merger. On the outside, Special Harmony within 3 or 4 of the leader at the 800 metres, and then Zalute second last and Princess Diamond. Deep in the Woods for Darren Gauci, comes up the side a little over a length clear, and he's still slowing it down stride by stride. Country Lodge second, Special Harmony flushed out 3 wide now within a length of the leader, and then Demerger as they came to the corner, Zalute and Princess Diamond. Deep in the Woods being joined by Country Lodge coming around the home turn, but Special Harmony's within a length of these, although 3 wide, and she's starting to really gather them in around the turn, and then Demerger. Country Lodge takes the lead, Special Harmony within a half length of her, then Demerger third, and Deep in the Woods is next, but coming to the 200, Country Lodge about a head in front. Special Harmony shaken up a little now by Oliver. She put the head clear, she drew a 3/4 of a length in front, and the long odds on favourites home. Special Harmony drew clear and won it by about 2 lengths on the line. Good go for the Miners. Deep in the Woods comes back and grabs it, I'd say, from Demerger or Country Lodge, Princess Diamond and Zalute on the outside. Well, she did it very, very easily. One Special Harmony taking her record now to 13 starts for 7 wins, 3 seconds and a third. And 3 get, and then the last 200 in 11.63. Very easy. Merger or Country Lodge, Princess Diamond and
the brilliant filly goes on her winning way in the Angus Armanasco. She took her time to gather in the leader, Country Lodge, and the margin wasn't great, but they went very, very slow in the middle stages, and it was a real sprint home. What did you think, Lee? Did you think she was impressive enough to live up to her big reputation?
Yeah, Richard, it was always going to be a trap race yesterday. They walked in it, and that didn't really suit her. And I think maybe second up into the 1600 metres, she wasn't as kind of dynamic as she was first up. But look, I'm not worried about that. She only does what she has to do, and Damien assured me, he said, look, she went great. She had probably another length and a half up her sleeve, so that's good enough.
Right, let's move on for the listed Schwepper Vessels and have a look at this. Keep the Faith on target for the Canterbury Guineas and also the AJC Australian Derby. Recorded a sensational time in winning and was eased down near the post.
Faith came round the home turn, about a neck in front, and Paddy sitting pretty quietly as Clockwork's under pressure second. The leader travel well. Back behind them then is Modern Era making ground on the outside, and the rest headed by Dame Trist, but it's all Keep the Faith, about 3 or 4 in front. In second placing, Modern Era the outside from Our Smoking Joe, but Keep the Faith, he is back and with a vengeance. Keep the Faith eased down by 3 to Our Smoking Joe and Modern Era third. Dame Trist about 3 lengths.
A very genuine horse. Like, I wasn't tough on him. I would have squeezed a little bit more out of him, but he went to the line. He would have really enjoyed today.
You know, people say he's been beating nothing in Adelaide, but you've got to remember how he's doing it, and no race is easy to win these days, and he's it was a big thrill.
Only a couple of ticks outside Northerly's course record, Keep the Faith. Once again, favourite. He just blitzed the others, Our Smoking Joe and Modern Era. They were in a different race. This is a Derby horse. This is a horse that'll go all the way to the top. I feel that he's now found himself. They've changed the tactics on him. He's leading in his races and loving it. And you can see how easily he went to the line there, and that was only a couple of ticks outside the course record. So this is a serious racehorse. He's a $1 million+ yearling, got the bloodlines to do it and the pedigree, and he's got the attitude now. So I think he's got it all together, Keith.
Absolutely. We're looking here at a $1.2 million colt by the former great Japanese sire, Sunday Silence. Patrick Payne said he had something in hand, and if he'd let Keep the Faith go, I think he would have nudged Northerly's record. It was a terrific win, and he is a genuine Derby hope, Bill.
15 minutes away from the Carlton Draft St George Stakes, and we're about to see Lonhro in the mounting yard. There are the ratings, 1 ahead of 8, 3 and 4. Lonhro, as you can see on the right hand there, is at $1. Similar to Special Harmony's race, all the others are showing very good overs. Have been easy outside Lonhro. Number 5, Shopping OK on the tote at 22. Natural Blitz at 21 is right on the mark now.
Betting moves down here, Bruce. The bookies took Lonhro on. He got out to about $1.70. And the punters have said, that's delicious. They've stepped right in. He's about $1.50 now, the favourite, Lonhro. All the rage late.
And Lonhro was first to bounce out. Sound Action, Mummify and Zasmine also begin quickly as they settle into stride. And it's Zasmine going through looking for the lead early. Mummify is up second and Lonhro steadies now 2.5 away in third. At the 8.50 and Zasmine by 2. Mummify is second, 3 lengths away the duel. Lonhro enjoying a cosy time is moving up to just about header into third placing now. Then Tally Thunder, Sound Action, 1 away, Pentastic taking off and leaving Natural Blitz at the tail. Zasmine at the 600 by a length and a half. Mummify second, 2 lengths away. Lonhro striding into it nicely. Pentastic rushed up to fourth, and then the duel, Sound Action, Tally Thunder, Natural Blitz on the fence. Round the turn now, and Zasmine joined by Mummify. Lonhro 3/4 away, about to let his run go. Pentastic wobbled a bit round the turn, and then Sound Action. Mummify took the lead at the 200, but the big black horse, Lonhro, let down by Darren Gauci. He gave him one around the backside, and he kicked away by a length and a half. Sound Action racing bravely, and then Mummify. But this is what we came to see. Lonhro scores brilliantly by a length. Second home is Sound Action, Mummify third, and Pentastic fourth. Then came Tally Thunder, Zasmine, Natural Blitz, and the duel.
Sprint wheeling for home, a neck in front of Mummify, a length into Lonhro. He's put into the race, third on the outside when they turn. Then Pentastic, and further back Sound Action in the straight. Mummify goes up to Zasmine. Gauci looks around on Lonhro, lets him down. He ranges up to Mummify and he takes the lead. Lonhro's gone to the lead from Mummify, then Sound Action. This brilliant black jet from Sydney, look at him go now, drawing away. Lonhro, the champ, he's to the line by a length. Sound Action, 3/4 third Mummify, Pentastic fourth, then a gap to
Standing racehorse of Australian racing right now in Lonhro. On to the Australian Cup. He's won the best form, Shardea, who's stretched his winning run now to 24 in all from 32 outings. $1 Pentastic fourth.
Very happy to be reunited with Lonhro. Under the circumstances that Darren Bevan got suspended, of course, and he's back on the horse in the Australian Cup. I was lucky that John Hawkes and Wayne and the Ingham's family, that they put me back on him, and I was quite happy, let me tell you, to keep my record intact 100% on him.
Lonhro, what a superstar. Does it again. He's only been beaten once at Caulfield. He absolutely loves the track. I think the Melbourne crowd actually warmed to him down there, and I'd get the opinion of the boys down there. Did he get a good reception, the $1.55 favourite?
He certainly did get a good reception, Richard, returning to scale, and he does deserve it. Thank God he didn't lead, but I was a little bit surprised that Sound Action, in fact, didn't go ahead of him out of the gates in the early stages. Wayne Hawkeye elected just to sit very quietly. Given the fact that Sound Action raced in front of him at their most recent outing before yesterday, I would have thought it would have. Nevertheless, it was very, very strong on the line. I thought Damien showed a little bit of dash on Pentastic. Given the fact that they were going a little bit slow up front, he at least did something to try and create a result. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to go on, but he did battle back the last 50 yards.
John Hawkes confirming this morning that Lonhro will have his Melbourne farewell race in the Daly Australian Cup, just as his dad, Octagonal, did. The crowd loved Lonhro down here, no wonder why. Yesterday, he started favourite for the 22nd consecutive time. His record is 24 wins from 31 starts, and I was personally disappointed that only 10,000, I say only, but 10,000 went to Caulfield yesterday to watch Lonhro and co. It was one of the best days racing possible, and I really don't know what we have to do to get crowds back to see great horses.
I think there's an interesting little clash coming up in the Australian Cup. If Lonhro runs in it, I think he'll beat all those horses, even though Sound Action, a very classy horse, and will win plenty of good races, provided they minimise the errors with that horse. I think that if Reset runs in the Australian Cup and Mummify runs in the Australian Cup, which one will Danny Nikolic ride? Had the big, you know, the owners stood by him in Melbourne during the spring on Mummify and that. Which way will he jump?
Of course, there was one horse out of that race.
At the latest Sky ratings and also the latest tote figures for you. The ratings here show Blur as the 100 ahead of Ancient Song, Massendor and River Dove, the winner of last year's Oakley Plate. Here are the latest tote figures. Interesting to see what these top couple into the night at 16. Ancient Song at 12. Blur, the total elect at $3.30 on that first page. Then on the second page, we've got last year's winner in River Dove, number 9. And it's at $13. Hathawberry, the expected leader, is on track. Ancient Song, Value the Tote, Blur, drifted out, but they've come forward in the last couple of calls through. $3.90 the tote is under, but at least they're supporting it. We'll go over the page. River Dove, number 9, last year's winner. It's a drifter on track and unders the top 50, just under what they're betting. And Legally Bay has tightened up on the tote, number 17, from what we mentioned earlier, now into $18. The last call, couple of calls coming through. The Group 1 Oakley coming up. I can just give...
Into the night stood well, racing in the Oakley plate. Reactive jumping just fairly on the inside, and Mystegic away brilliantly with Super Elegant. Legally Bay and Scaredy Cat began fast out wide. Haileyberry drives up on the inside. Settling into stride, Haileyberry at the 800 goes through and takes over the running from Mystegic. Right behind them is Massendor and Ancient Song. They're followed by Super Elegant, 5th, and out very wide from Scaredy Cat, Reactive, Sir Breakfast. With that bunch of horses, 2 into the night, and also Cross Current, a length and a half. River Dove well back on the inside, followed by Naden and Blur. Then Legally Bay, trailed by Suit and Galapagos Girl. Coming around the turn now, Mystegic out wide goes Girl. Coming around the turn now, Mystegic out wide goes to the lead ahead of Massendor, Haileyberry. Ancient Song, Handy, Super Elegant off the track as they caught it, and then came Sir Breakfast. And Reactive getting up on the inside to the 200. Ancient Song went up and took the lead with Mystegic on the outside. And then Reactive going for a run on the inside. 100 metres to go. Here's Cross Current with a run. It's Ancient Song, Cross Current, Reactive driving through on the inside. Reactive has grabbed the lead, and Reactive in a boil-over has won it from Ancient Song. Suit or Cross Current in 3rd placing. And then came Naden. Blur never came into it. Legally Bay wide. Galapagos Girl made a little bit of ground, followed by Into the Night, and then River Dove and Mystegic. Haileyberry towards the end is Sir Breakfast, Massendor and Scaredy Cat, one of the last in the race.
Outside Mystegic, get with Ancient Song, have gone to the front, out in the middle. Then Super Elegant, followed by Cross Current, getting a late run in the centre. It's Mystegic out wide in front, Reactive up on the fence. Ancient Song's there, Cross Current getting through. Reactive over on the inside has grabbed the lead from Ancient Song, and Reactive has won the Oakley plate. Has 1.5 length on the line to Ancient Song. I think Suit grabbed 3rd, Cross Current 4th. Then further back in the race on the outside would have been Naden, followed
the pace, but she led and weakened, $585.80. And the running double one.
You know, you wouldn't like to get too far back and too far away from, because there's going to be a bit of speed on, and you know, they just keep running these Oakley plates. But we had a great run, and Brian sort of told me not to go too early, wait till we straighten, and then when she's balanced, let her down. But she was travelling that well at the top of the straight. I thought I was worried about getting out, but the thing rolled off the fence at the top of the straight, and the run's coming. It was unbelievable.
You know, she's really established herself in this class now, so there's no going back. So we're probably committed to take on the Newmarket now, but now that she's achieved this, you know, she'll race this autumn, and then she'll spell through the spring and go to stud probably in the spring.
$16 Reactive gave the bookies some respite. Favourites were just hammering home yesterday. The punters right on the mark there. They were reading the bias pretty well. A brilliant effort from Brian Mayfield-Smith as a trainer. First up Reactive. That's the first time Brian's trained a Group 1 winner first up. And it's an incredible feat for a trainer to do that. Young Matt Pumper, well, he's a jockey with a real future. He's got a cool head, the 20-year-old. He's a Swan Hill boy. That's his first Group 1, and deserved every bit of it. It was a very patient, clever little ride, sticking to the inside where he thought the track was better, Michael.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was a great ride. There were a number of good runs there. I think probably the best of them was Nadine. It actually blundered after the start, went down the snows. The jock nearly got tipped off, and then from about the last 750 metres of the race, the horse was like 5 and 6 wide. That's it, charging through late in the blue colours there. It was just an amazing run. I think it was probably a tragedy beaten. There were a number of good runs, as I said. Galapagos Girl's run was good. It was a little bit held up. Mystegic's run, he was sort of well beaten at the 100, but he was 5 wide on the speed all the way. Million good runs in the race, but yeah, I thought the run of the race was Nadine for sure.
It definitely was the run of the race, given where it drew and the amount of ground. And you can still see it in the black and white being held up back last now terrific effort, very, very unlucky, and I guarantee you the owners are feeling a little bit sicker today, as is Leon McDonald, given the fact that they did support it at very good odds. Legally Bay, I thought his performance was very good, given the fact that it was forced to cover ground, but you always knew it was going to cover ground, given it had drawn as wide as it has. But, you know, look, I tell you what, you guys, I really get fed up listening to you talk about track biases. Sit down and analyse speed and tempo, and there was not one bit of bias in that track yesterday. It just goes to show also that barriers win good races when you can jump, sit, and then find a bit of daylight.
I'm with you because I'm so surprised the word bias came into the conversation coming out of Sydney this morning. I mean, you're watching these races from the wrong angle, 800 kilometres north of the track.
Alf, to talk to Richard about that, not me, all right?
Go back to the stats.
He's Barry Bias.
See how many horses lead and win at Caulfield over the last 6 months. It'll be staggering when you find the numbers.
We're talking about yesterday's meeting, and if you sit down and analyse...
How many leaders won yesterday?
Hey, I couldn't care less. You sit down and look at the tempos, the way the race were run. OK, you reckon Naden should have won? It was back nearly last and getting held up.
It's all coincidence. The last 6 months, leaders coming around the corner. It's all coincidence, is it, Alf?
You're off beam today. You're off beam today. I'm not saying it doesn't...
Near the lead, especially at Caulfield, you don't win.
Caulfield over the last 10 years has been exactly the same.
Well, it hasn't... Well, over the last 10 years, what, since they rebuilt the track?
Hey, listen here. I don't care what they say about Caulfield. It is a track that lends itself to being on the speed, as most tracks are if you can go slow enough.
Right. I must say to you...
100 Raider is One World, number 11, ahead of Alinghi, Way West and World Peace. As I say, the race due in 15 minutes. As we display the latest tote figures, Alf Matthews has Chris Muntz.
Chris Wage has been very impressive. How do you compare the form from Sydney to Melbourne?
Well, I suppose we'll know once the races want to run and one, I suppose, Alf, but I mean...
Many of Australia's top 2-year-olds in this season for the Amy Blue Diamond. Alinghi at $1.80 is just under what they're betting on track. As I say, that's been supported. One World's just drifted out, tightened in a little bit, number 11. OK on the tote, number 11 at $9.80. 12 months ago, we saw Rodine pass the line first, only lose the race due to a positive drug result. Kuzi got the race, was only having its second lifetime start. And Redout's Choice, what about its win in 1991 when it was at its second start only, when it won the Blue...
Alinghi out fairly. San Zero began OK in the early stages of the race. Way West and Wager away brilliantly on the outside. Courtney's Cuddles driving up just behind them, and One World wide out. There's Zilzy pushing up along the fence now with San Zero. Two lengths Denorum deaf on the outside, and they were followed well back in the field by Squad. Alinghi is second last on the inside. Find the Cash ahead of her, and World Peace is last as they came up the side of the course now, and it's Wager on the inside, a narrow leader by ahead to Zilzy. 2 lengths away, San Zero, Way West. One World striding up outside these, next to Norham. Courtney's Cuddle Squad followed by Alinghi and Find the Cash together, and they were trailed coming around the turn by Deafin and World Peace. Into the straight, and it's Wager the leader. One World 3 or 4 wide coming at it. Zilzy's under the whip next as they straighten out, and then came San Zero. World Peace is making some ground. Alinghi's in the clear. Wager well clear though, out to the 150 by 3 lengths. Here comes Alinghi sailing up the middle of the track. Wager in front. Alinghi stride by stride. She's a mighty filly, and Alinghi beats Wager by a length. An outstanding win. Third is World Peace, 4 lengths away, and they were followed coming at it. Zilzy's under the whip next as they straighten out, and then came San Zero. World Peace is making some ground. Alinghi's in the clear. Wager well clear though, out to the 150 by 3 lengths. Here comes Alinghi sailing up the middle of the track. Wager in front. Alinghi stride by stride. She's a mighty filly, and Alinghi beats Wager by a length. An outstanding win. Third is World Peace, 4 lengths away, and they were followed by Find the Cash and next Squad Denorum. One World tired, and next was Zilzy, Courtney's Cuddles, Way West, San Zero and Deafin. What an outstanding victory. She was in
outside, racing up and joining them now. They're followed by San Zero. World Peace starting to weave through. Alinghi into the clear, but Wager on the inside, kicked away. 3 in front. Here comes Alinghi. She's coming down the middle. Wager 3 in front. Alinghi starting to pick it back from World Peace. Wager the leader. Alinghi's lunging. She's going to get up. The giant filly does it. Mighty performance. Alinghi wins on a length on the line. Second home is Wager. 3 away. Third in the race is World Peace. Then Find the Cash. Further back was Squad.
Staring defeat in the eye. Has swept past every runner. And with a brilliant run up the middle of the track, has reeled in Wager to score one of the most emphatic Blue Diamond victories in many years. She's run 19.89 the time. The top 2-year-olds bounding away Tommy Smith at 86, the last to win it, but it's been Alinghi giving Lee Friedman his third win after Knowledge and Danelaw. Second to number 9.
Why has he run home?
Yeah, I mean, you can only do it with fillies as good as she is. I mean, I just said to Lee straight after the race, I mean, on the corner, we both thought she was probably 100 to 1 of winning. If she could have run home and run a nice second or third, it would have been a great effort. But, you know, she's all class.
What a sprint. The last, I mean, Wager got tired, but you were really picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what can I say? I mean, she's obviously very, very good, and, you know, it takes very good horses to do what she did.
I mean, Lee certainly didn't want me that far back, but I thought to myself I'd rather be back there than, you know, in amongst them pushing and shoving. When you're on a bit of a hot pot, they tend to look for you a bit more, and there was a little bit of traffic and bumping and shoving early, so I thought rather than pushing up into trouble, I'll let it go and let her settle back and avoid it.
Given those circumstances, you must have been delighted with the performance.
It was a terrific performance, you know. I thought to myself before the race, she's the best horse in the race and she's got great ability, and I thought if I can stay out of trouble, that she will win, you know. And I thought, although I was further back than I wanted to be, I got a good run getting up to the corner, and just, you know, didn't get held up at all once I made my run. And the second horse did shoot away at the top of the straight and got a bit of a break on us. But I thought for her to kick like that she might be found wanting a little bit over the last 100, and I knew that my filly hadn't done much work early in the race, that she'd finished full of running.
There you go, Alinghi, the $2.15 favourite there, defeating Wager. What a great run Wager was. World Peace in third spot there. But Wager, I have to say, the Sydney filly was very, very game. She jumped from a wide alley, she crossed them, and that takes some doing in that sort of race. Led, kicked away on the corner, and Chris Muntz assured everyone at the race yesterday that his filly Wager never stopped. And it was just the superior speed of Alinghi, who ran one of the best 3 of the day, I think, last 200 metres of the race. I think it was just the same time as the winner of the Oakley Plate did. So it was an outstanding effort by Alinghi. Can't take anything away from Wager. Very good effort. And, well, I think they spaced the others, and I don't see anything behind those two as a Golden Slipper chance.
A great job. To get as far back as she did and run on like she did. But that seems to work well with Ollie and I. I'll give him instructions, he disobeys them. So.
He's claiming this. Yesterday he was claiming that this was all part of the plan, getting back that far.
It was part of his plan, definitely. But anyway, that's why he wins big races. You know, he knew what the speed was like, and he had the horse underneath him to do the job. I just didn't think they could come from that far back and win a Blue Diamond. But getting towards the corner, I was starting to get interested then, because I could see her poking up between runners, and she really hadn't spent anything, you know.
Yeah, the track bias there favours horses that get away on the fence there, close to the rail, especially at the top of the straight. Gee, you were spotting the leader, what, 6?
No doubt. I'd say at the 300-metre mark, probably 6 lengths. And I don't think the leader stopped at all. I think the leader ran a terrific race, but you know, she's just such a brilliant finisher. She finishes every race off the same. Haven't got the sectionals yet, but I suspect they're pretty similar to the first 2 wins, which were sort of like 33 and change. So a very, very good racehorse.
Lee, you were very emotional after the race. I suppose there were many factors, none the least being the fact that you trained and bought and trained both the dam and the sire. And I think for the first time you had your younger daughter Georgia at the races for a good luck charm.
Yeah, she's good, Nick. How are you?
Good, buddy. Mate, it's 6 weeks to the slipper. Now, you obviously give this horse another run. Now, with Flying Spur, you raced it straight after the Blue Diamond in the sires, and then had 4 weeks to the slipper. Have you got any thoughts as to which way you'll go with this filly?
I've had a plan in place. The scenario being that she won the Blue Diamond and we were going to move on to Sydney. I'll probably at some stage move her up there in the next couple of weeks, give her a soft trial, probably run in the Riesling, and then we slip it.
Yeah, that's great. Lee, Bint Masqué, Dan Zero, Flying Spur, Merlene. Is this filly better than them?
She's very much different to, certainly different to Bint Masqué, who was an on-pacer, but brilliant on-pacer. I still think she's the benchmark 2-year-old in this country for the last 20 years. I think she's just a remarkable horse. Very similar to Merlene. Yeah, very similar to Merlene. Probably a tad better.
Wow.